YouTube and Facebook. Yeah, Facebook we're Four Brothers Podcast. Four Brothers Podcast. You want to go ahead and put on our page on Facebook because we got a topic already? You guys want to talk about Biden administration cutting all that money from HBCU? Okay. I just put it on the Four Brothers page. And we can all share that page on Facebook. And put the topics on there. We can make a post. Be a part of the game tonight. Oh, it feels so good. I missed you guys.
You're out of quarantine?
Yeah, I'm not back there behind the screen. He in the box. He in the box. We live. We live. We got to get the Facebook people over to the YouTubes. Let me see if it's here. Yep, I know who voice that is. That guy. Annoying as a motherfucker. Look at all that red. I gotta turn that down.
I'm proud of that dude. Look at him. He got new glasses too. Oh my fucking man, this dude here, man. Let me go outside and see you driving a Bentley and see what happened, bro. Let me find out. I'm proud, man. I'm always proud of progress. Always proud of progress.
He's put it up on Facebook right now. Ooh, 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 ooh.
Oh, snap.
What?
They have a, it just came on my Instagram, just random stuff. They have a tap you can put on your faucet in your sink. It has the buttons on the tap so the water can come out boiled, chilled, or spring water, sparkling water.
It comes out boiled?
So you hit a button and it'll come out the tap already at boiling temperature.
That takes a hell of a hot water heater right there.
I would assume so.
Yeah.
And then or you can have it cold, or you could even, it has a thing on it where you can come out as sparkling water too.
Is that right?
Yeah, bro. That's crazy, ain't it?
Yeah.
Maybe it's not the hot water heater. Maybe they got some hot coils in the thing.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's called the
you guys
Zip Water US. It's called Hydro Tap. It's a hydro tap. Aren't all taps hydro taps considering they got water coming out of them? Isn't that like technically? This is the random stuff we talk about when nobody's around. Or at least I do.
I don't know if all taps are hydro taps.
Didn't the word hydro mean water? Hydrogen?
It's on Facebook too? That's right. Just posted it too. Okay. I think more people are used to it going live on Facebook. But we are live
we'll
on
see.
Facebook too.
We are?
The link is, but actual motion.
Oh yeah, I get what you're saying.
Test and test. Yeah, I'm good to go. We on?
Yeah, we are on.
All right.
We are on here. You're going to hear yourself say testing.
Testes.
Sound great, Delvin.
I'm fine,
You sound.
Been practicing in the mirror.
The expert has a very expertly voice today.
I'm finally experting.
Spam risk. I like these where it tell you spam risk. That means don't answer it.
Yeah. Somebody told me one time, whenever you get a spam call or scam likely,
Yeah.
don't just say, I did what you told me, but there's blood everywhere.
I'll be like, who do you want to speak to? Really? You're looking for Tyrone? No, this isn't him. Hold on. This is his assistant. Who do you work for? What do you want? Because you know they can only give up so much information.
Right.
I'll sit there and ask them just random questions. When my kids were babies, I would put the bill collectors on the phone with them and just let them have a ball. Just talk to them. Just whatever you want.
Genius.
And it would make me laugh. The ones who didn't hang up come back an hour later. My son, you fart. Can I please speak to the adult? And you fart. I'm like, wow, that's patience.
He need his commission, bro.
That is a different type of patience.
He need his commission. What can I say? Yeah, you can share it.
That's
Share and share like we are on.
That is
We're getting
patience.
set up live on location.
Live on location.
It's not a secret location either.
No, it's not. It's not either. Cigar Exchange.
Out here in East San Antonio. We are in Katy, Texas.
At the Cigar Exchange. They have a nice humidor. I went to the humidor, and you know when that
Humidor is nice.
You know on TV when he goes, oh.
Humidor is real nice.
I had one of those moments. I almost sat up
Is that-
on
is
the
that what you
marble
had?
slab and just like laid on the cold just to feel it. You know, like
It's got that fresh humidor smell. to
it does. It does. That fresh humidor. It has to come by a cigar smell in there. I really enjoyed that experience. The marble slab. I just wanted to lay on it for some reason.
It's definitely nice over here, man. I'm going to have to call my travel agent to make sure I come over.
You have to call who? Your travel agent?
She's 2. She'll be 2 next month.
I left my cigar over there. I would do that.
Well, that's a pretty integral part of the show.
Yeah, I mean, that is pretty much it.
It's pretty integral. Without that, it's like almost useless.
Maybe I should go get it.
Up to you.
I'm going to go get it.
Yes, sir. Yeah. We'll see what happens. Yeah.
4 brothers for real.
Yeah.
Let me turn you down a little bit, Miles.
Turn me down?
Yep. See right there? You don't want to bounce too far into the red.
Hey, man.
Hey, man.
I have no problem working in the red. In any form or fashion.
That means you making everybody's ears go crazy.
Yeah,
Crazy.
that's part of the life, man.
We got the new Mac.
You a Mac?
Biggity,
Mac Daddy.
Yeah, he's a part of the cool kids now.
Biggity, Mac.
Mac Daddy. McDonald's.
5 people in there.
Mac Tonight. We got 5 people? Besides the 4 of us? We winning tonight.
Right.
We are on top of the game
All right.
this evening.
Boom.
Yes, indeed.
Undercrown 10th anniversary.
Somebody gonna bring us in,
Bring us
Miles.
in.
Come on, Miles. We not sat in the same room.
Since
In a lounge
Yeah, it's been a minute.
months, bro.
Wow.
Months.
in
months.
so
May,
long.
you know what it was?
When
May.
May.
Last time we sat in a lounge together was shortly after Houston Cigar Week, so maybe June. We
Yeah, I
had-
think
Wow.
maybe June. Yeah.
Where was that? Y'all remember?
I don't remember.
Bayou City?
Bayou City.
Was it Bayou
Really?
City?
I
We did
don't
one more
know.
in Bayou City after Cigar Week.
Well, we doing one now. Bring
We
us
here
in.
though.
Yeah.
So look, welcome to Sticks and Shit Talk. We are here on a Thursday night, back on location, back inside of a lounge where we belong, where this all started. The genesis of it started inside the lounge, bringing you the lounge feel, bringing you what we talk about in the lounge so you guys can be a part of it and understand what it is and, chime in if you want to. I am Miles Anthony. We got, of course, Jay Steed, Tyrone Irvin, and, of course, in the corner, we got Delvin, the expert.
The
and I want to say,
expert.
welcome to the show. We're going to get in on some topics today. We got some really good topics. We got our relationship topic, of course, which I know we should get plenty of feedback on. We got Biden. We got NBA players and their money. So we got some stuff to talk about.
NBA players and their money,
Or the lack of their money.
Or lack thereof.
or soon to be, or
Even if their
not.
money. No, they didn't gave it up. It's gone now.
And we got a great stick, too.
And we got a great stick. Jay, this is your spot. What are we Oh, hold on. Before that, let me tell you where we are. I don't know how straight gives it. I apologize. We are out in Katy. We are at a brand new lounge called Cigar Exchange.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's a beautiful lounge. First of all, it's black owned, so we got to always support that. Done right. Done totally right. The owner,
right.
Ben, is with us. He'll be on in a little while to talk about his lounge, and I'll let him tell you more about it. But this is my first time out here, but it's done right. It's beautiful.
Yeah, immaculate.
The humidor is amazing. Perfect place to come hang out.
It's a real comfortable
and smoke.
place.
Extremely comfortable. You can see.
Yeah.
We're in is this a semi-private area? Is that private? This semi-private is what it is. So we're in a semi-private area.
This is almost private, and
Almost
that's
private.
all the way private.
This is close I ever get to private. So I'm feeling like a king today.
Well, congratulations.
Memberships are very reasonable.
Yeah, but we'll talk about all that. Ben
talk
will
about
get
all
us
Yeah,
there.
we'll get in all of
We'll
that.
get the address out to you, but we're definitely out closer to Katy Mills Mall. So you guys got to come check it out. All you cigar smokers out there, come check it out. If you're not a cigar smoker, come check it out. Speaking of not being a cigar smoker, Shantae tunes into our show, and she let me know she tried her first cigar this week, bro.
Really?
Yeah, so we over here turning people
Awesome,
out, man.
awesome. I wish we had a round of applause button right here, so we could.
Tyrone was back there, but he's not.
Hey,
He's over here.
I didn't want to engineer tonight and sit away from you guys. It's our first time back in the lounge in some weeks.
Man.
I wanted to sit amongst the people.
And people were wondering if you were in quarantine.
what?
either.
I'm happy
I
to
do
be amongst
think
to sit amongst you.
I
Because I haven't been around you in a while, and you come back with new dudes. So I'm happy that
I
that I'm
came
still.
back the same dude. I got on the same hat and everything. Everything. I don't want to say I smell the same. That means I
you
smell
got
myself.
New cologne, man. You got
He's like, I
new
bathed last
glasses,
month.
new shoes.
At least last month.
At least, yeah.
I think. But somewhat.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no,
Him say you glowing.
Yeah, well, people
is glowing.
thought that I wasn't
shining.
really here when we do it in the studio
No, they
because
don't
I'll
think
be
you're here.
behind the screen. They be like,
That's
"You
true.
lying? You not really there?"
You're right.
Yeah.
Right.
So-
But you weren't really here last 2 weeks when we went virtual. You really weren't here.
Well, none of us were
anywhere, yeah.
really here, Miles.
Kind of inside the city limits. You weren't. But I appreciate you taking time.
Wait a minute. We all we different cities. Well, you mean within 40 miles of each other?
40 miles.
Yeah.
Yeah, somewhat.
That's fair.
That's fair.
All right, but we were virtual, so we were still together.
Nah, virtual was cool, man. I appreciate y'all that tuned in while we were virtual. But let's get to introduce the stick, Jay. What we smoking, Jay?
Oh, we're smoking, and for everybody who's been smoking for a while, you're no stranger to the Underground.
Yes,
This
indeed.
is the 10th anniversary Underground.
The
They come
10th.
out- They come out with at least 3 or 4 iterations of the Underground at some point, right? And
Yeah.
they all taste the same to me. This is the first one that actually tastes different.
Right, because even when
Okay.
they box pressed it or called it a dog meat, it wasn't that big of a difference.
Wasn't that big of a difference.
You didn't get more flavor out the box press?
No.
No, not really. I mean, it was good.
Well, that's
It
the
was-
purpose.
You know what it was, though? It was actually, the box was a little bit smoother than the original Underground to me, personally.
Right.
So I liked it a little bit. It just became hard to find after a while. And the Dogma was actually a return of the first box press they tried
Yeah.
years before. And it was cool. But since this has come out, be honest, it's been out like 4 or 5 months maybe, something like that.
Right.
I've smoked more than my fair share of them. I like them a lot. They're real
They're
smooth.
real good.
I can smoke this after lunch or after dinner, and I'll be perfectly happy.
And they have these in the humidor now. He just got them in today. Today,
This morning?
This moaning.
And it's owned by Drew Estates. We didn't mention that. It's definitely a Drew Estate stick for those.
Do you know the story behind the Underground?
Nah, give me the story.
So
We like stories.
We like it's story time, kids. Let Jay tell us the story.
quick story behind the underground. So
Oh yeah, in the queue, put story time music on the queue next
Story
time.
time
We gotta
music.
do that.
You
So-
know what? On the recording, we'll put story time music.
All right,
We'll
wait, keep
cue
it
it
in.
up.
In the
Yeah.
True Estate factory, the rollers were smoking too many of the number 9s.
Okay.
So
I don't blame them.
I don't
They were
blame
smoking-
them at all.
they were
I
smoking
love them number
number nines
nines.
after
Smoke all you can, sell the rest.
Yeah, so
It's like Bluebell.
Jonathan and them went in there and it was like, what the heck, y'all smoking all our sticks? You smoking more than we're actually packaging up to
Right.
sell. So they created the underground
For the workers.
for the workers.
Oh, that's good, then.
Underground was actually created
So it's created for peasants like me.
for the
I'm going to go with it.
peasants, Drew Estate.
Well,
Put it
this
up there, roll.
it's quite fitting then, I guess.
It
Well,
is.
well, let
And
me
look,
cut this
I don't know if y'all
up.
can see this or not. Where's the camera? I don't know if y'all really can see it. It's very beautiful how they.
Pretty
I-
little ribbon through the middle. Nice
Yeah.
presentation.
it's gorgeous.
I mean, it's a great stick.
Yeah,
So
but fuck
check it
that
out
shit.
when
We
you
finna
can.
smoke this thing.
If you come into Cigar Exchange, they're on the right side of the humidor. I don't know how long it's gonna last. I don't know how many boxes he got. He was
About an hour.
Especially with Ike sitting up front. They probably be there in the morning.
I know. I told Ike when we
Yeah.
pulled up, I said I want to be like you when I grow up. I got all the sticks in this box.
He got everything. He got everything. So we're gonna cut this and light this, and we'll do what we do, which is periodically check in with everybody, let everybody know what the notes are, where we're getting out of the stick, a third, halfway through, and then the end. We'll do that tonight.
Can I say something? I know we don't want to do this, but I'm going to do this. I just really want to.
What you got, man?
I stumbled across this, and we're drinking it. I poured the last of the bottle, and I apologize to you guys. I poured the last of the bottle. It's a new whiskey and bourbon. It's actually the bourbon version of Bro Brothers. It's a black-owned bourbon. I stumbled across it at OST Liquors over on OST today.
Bro
And
Brothers?
Bro Brothers.
Wow, that sounds so
BROUGH.
Bro Brothers. That's almost stereotypical.
Yeah, not
But
not
it's
not
BRO.
broke brothers.
It's not
Bro
BRO.
Brothers. Yeah.
It's BROUGH. Bro
Ah,
Brothers.
bro.
So yeah, and it's black. It's a black-owned bourbon that I like a whole lot. It's
How
really
much it
smooth.
cost? What's the price point?
This price point was $25.
Wow.
26. I think 26. I apologize. 26. I paid for this.
Is that what we just had in the cup?
That's what you got in the cup.
Oh, wow. That's real good.
You know what I'm saying?
Bro
And so like, I had
Brothers.
some earlier today, and I brought the rest for y'all to taste. And I think
Y'all
it's dope.
see, he brought us a,
And it's black
you know
owned.
when they call it a Kona?
A corner. Yeah.
I said,
I
y'all,
brought
a
you a hat.
Kona.
yes.
Yeah, when there's 4 thirsty dudes, anything become a corner.
I bought y'all, yeah, I got y'all a Kona. Smell this.
I feel attacked.
Right? So let's get at it. We get started, folks. So we're not here all night and keeping being here all night.
So while we're lighting this, what we gonna tackle first? We got some good topics tonight.
And we do, man. Let's just jump in it, man. Go 2 feet first, right to deep end.
Yeah, we're going into
We'll
it.
jump on.
So I'll introduce this one.
Yeah,
got
you
this-
have a
this
you have a
is
history with this one.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of brought it
It's
up.
long and painful.
Well, 2 years. So it came up in my
Sweet
my
memories.
Facebook memories.
See, we need the story time music
And I
again.
went
We
back
definitely
and
need
looked
the
at
story
all
time
these
music.
comments and all the backlash, and I think I got deleted that day by like 10 women. But and it was posted by a woman.
So that was a normal Tuesday for you.
It was
Right.
It was posted by a woman, and it said, "Men get tired of dating broke, needy, uneducated females too." So
Wait. I'm going to need you to repeat that just in case. Your mic is far from you. I just want to make sure that you were being
Yeah,
clear. Now,
turn his gain up.
Yeah, say it from your chest now. You're saying it. Come from deep down in here with it.
the men, so the post said, "Men get tired of dating broke, needy, uneducated females too." So I shared it, and I let everybody know that it came from a woman. It didn't matter. So I got most of the ladies were good, and they was like, "Yeah, of course." But at least 10 of them, like I said, I got blocked and deleted that day. So it came up again, and I shared it in our Sticks-N-ShyTalk group, and it got some traction. So I wanted to revisit that topic because we're dealing in an age of women empowerment, and obviously we all want our women to become all they can be.
I want to hear you roar, baby.
And and I think that I don't like to generalize anything,
But you're about to.
Some
But
women,
about to.
no, I'm not about to. I'm not about
No,
to.
I don't like to, but I'm
not
about to.
I'm not about to. Some women want both sides. They want the cake and the horse. They want it.
The cake and the horse.
They want it both ways.
The
You
cake
can't have
and
it
the
both
horse?
ways. Like you can do.
I've never heard that
if
before
you
in my life.
want-
Is that a
if
new
you
Iberian
want to
thing?
be-
Wait, hold on.
He
What
said
the hell does a cake have
cake
to
and
do
the horse? You
with
listen
a?
to Snoop
You
on
thought we
Family
was
Feud?
gonna just let Delvin? He thought we was gonna let that go. He said
said
they
the
want the
cake
cake
Okay,
and
so
the
the
horse
horse.
too.
So let's get past.
I know what my two
But
thought
we can't
processes
just
are,
get
but I'm not
past
even gonna bring
that,
that up.
Jay. Like he just wanted to just idly just let the cake and the horse.
He said this cannot stand.
It cannot stand.
So
What is it you mean? Okay, we'll find out next week's iteration of horse and cake.
Look for that definition on the page.
going back to it,
The cake and the horse.
we had there was a lot of discussions going. It was like 120 comments in that post, and I just want to know, I mean, I think I know where y'all stand on this, but this is a topic that comes up a lot. It's like traditionalism versus independence. Like,
I
some
think-
women want both.
I do think someone want both, and I think, I don't know if it's a problem to want both. You can want what you want. You just have to realize that every woman not gonna get both, right? Like we all want, not all of us, but a lot of men want a woman that looks a certain way, that's built a certain way, make a certain amount of money, cooks like this, cleans like this, has sex like this, whatever. But we all ain't gonna get that chick, right? So you have to understand that, like, you can want what you want, but I think at the same time, I think for me, over the last probably a couple weeks, a month or so, I've been thinking about it. I think traditionalism needs to go away. And I don't mean traditionalism as in what it was. The idea of traditionalism needs to go away. Because if you look at what traditionalism stood for, which was the men go make all the money, right? They take care of the household. They make sure everything's good. They fix everything. They cut every piece of grass. They do all that. Life's different now than it was when our grandparents were doing that. Houses don't cost $45,000 a year anymore. Cars don't cost $4,000 for
You
a
can't
car
buy
anymore.
a house for $5,000.
You can't, right? And
So
and you have
all
to work.
traditionalism should be gone. So you want your girl to look outside and say, "Miles, bring your ass inside to cook dinner, little man."
No, what I think is you find somebody that you want to be with, and y'all define the roles for yourself. What do you do well? What do I do
I
well?
agree.
What do you like to do? What
I
do I
agree.
like
That
to do?
approach.
As opposed to, because what happens is, and we talked about the stats before, and we can keep.
Oh,
going
I
with
have
stats.
them right now.
I know you had the stats, but
I was just going to say that. I am sitting next to the expert.
So what happens is, in a world of liberation, women are making salaries a lot higher than what they were.
True.
Men aren't making salaries relative to the cost of living influx that we aren't making that much more. So for you to make that money and also, like, how many trips to Dubai did grandma go on? How many trips to
Big
Mexico?
Mama did not have hot girl summer.
How many Louis
In
Vuitton
2021,
purses?
she do.
In 1965, Big Mama was not having hot girl
In
summer.
2021, Big Mama dropping it in Daytona just like everybody else.
And so
Hey, there's some grandmas
And-
when I in Miami. I just got back from there. The
there's
grandmas is out
grandmas
there.
in my-
I'm
there's
trying to-
grandmas everywhere.
I'm trying to
But
tell you.
back then that wasn't the case. And then even more so,
Well,
are you willing to let, if he takes care of all that, can he have a second family down the street like grandpa
wait a
did?
minute. Hold on.
A lot of grandparents, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
times
yeah,
are totally
My grandfather
different.
definitely had a second family.
Both of my grandfathers had multitudes of families.
You know what I'm saying? Like
we still
times are
finding out
different.
about them.
My grandfather didn't, but my great uncle had like 6 of them. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
My granddad was one of them. I live up the street.
Tyrone like, man, who are these dudes?
When I met one of them, I was like, I had dreams about you. I
Right.
thought that you was I had a dream that you was a used car salesman and you was gonna give me a car.
Man, I used to
Didn't
have
give me nothing but a headache.
Like I had class with him.
right.
But my grandfathers had all type of alternative families and
Yeah,
everything
I,
else.
I agree with Miles. Like, I think you have to define that for yourself.
Define
as
the
a
role.
couple.
Did
my
him
wife,
and Miles
like,
agree this early?
I think so. I think we had a breakthrough.
We got a
It
break.
only took a year and a half, bro. It's fine.
My wife and me had a talk before we got married. We actually had a talk about who's going to be the primary cook and cleaner.
And you lost.
No, I didn't lose because I'm the cook. I like to cook.
You lost.
See, there's no losing in a relationship when you
convinced
guys
you like to
agree.
cook.
Yeah, you play off your
convinced
strengths.
me.
I get it, Miles. It was a Jedi mind trick.
I was cooking before.
Reverse psychology.
It wasn't really his idea.
You're right.
Yeah, it's cool. Like I say, you just play off your
He was
strengths.
eating McDonald's and Pizza Hut buffets before she came along.
That's a lie.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden you making Creole and crap.
That's a lie.
Hey, man, hey, you gonna mess up my late night dinners, man.
No, it's like that
I
dinner
stopped
beef.
at J House for dinner on a late night.
Speaking of which, we on this side of town. We got dinner tonight at the pad in the garage.
I don't have any.
He
My stuff's still
probably
in the freezer.
saying that because you done messed
I
it
done
up for us.
messed it up for everybody. My
Yeah.
I didn't cook tonight. I bought them takeout.
Hey, I want to say this to the. What was the original question?
Are you tired of dating broke?
Or when you were on the scene.
Yeah, because that's what I was gonna say. I'm not dating anyone.
Well, I mean,
if I
are
say
men-
I'm dating
are
somebody,
men-
I'm gonna go home and then I'm really gonna
Yeah.
get
Men are
kicked 'cause I'm
tired
gonna
of
be
dating.
kicked out.
Yeah,
what
all
was it? What was the whole list of stuff? Broke what? Like broke.
Broke, needy, uneducated females.
Well, I'm
Broke,
gonna
needy,
put it to
uneducated.
you like this. I'm gonna move it outside of the dating realm and say yes. I'm just tired of broke, needy females in general because I think a lot of people are afraid to say it. And of course, this isn't all women, but a lot of women expect things just because they're women. You're supposed to buy everything. If you're on a budget and you can't, that means you're cheap. It's an era
Right.
of like
isn't it-
entitlement.
But isn't it weird that
from a lot of women.
But isn't it weird that what you're describing is going on in the height of women empowerment?
Yeah, because there's no more accountability for certain
Well,
things.
I don't think it's that. I think. Well, that might be a little.
Well,
bit of it.
cognitive dissonance is trendy.
But I think
And nobody calls people on people that are engaging in cognitive dissonance. You know,
Yeah.
they're like, well, 2 + 2 = 4, but it could be 5. Like what they say. In my truth, it's 5.
Yeah.
You know, like you don't get your own truth.
My truth.
Yeah.
You know, I said the truth is like a lot of times it's like the speed of light. It's like gravity. It doesn't need you to believe in it. You jump off a building, the same thing's gonna happen. Doesn't care what your truth is, what you believe in. The outcome is gonna be what it is.
every single time.
But I will say, we all have some natural instincts in us,
Right.
in genders, just because of how we were made as people.
Yeah.
So I think is the woman still wants to be provided for. She wants to be protected. And I say provision isn't always financial.
Yeah, it's not always monetary.
Right, it's not
But
always
it-
monetary, right? But they want to be provided for. They want to be protected. They want to be prayed for. Like, there's certain things that a lot of women still want. And I think the issue is, and this issue goes both sides of the coin, it may not be what they want. It's in the communication and how to get it.
Well, here's the thing. Here's what you were describing earlier and what a conflict is. You have her social conditioning battling her evolutionary biology.
yes.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
fact.
It is what it is.
It is. And a lot of it is social conditioning now.
Right.
It's I think I love women empowerment. I love women being empowered. I think that it's wonderful for mankind, humankind, womankind, all kinds, period. But I think when you have correction, sometimes you have overcorrection. And when
Right.
you get the overcorrection, there's always going to be spillover of things that really don't belong. And so now what I am noticing is a lack of appreciation. I see men go out of their way for women and do things that they just literally don't have to do. And those things are not only expected by the woman, but they're expected and they have to have them.
Right.
But at the same time, the man can't accept the same thing in reciprocation.
Now, I got to jump in again.
All right.
That stuff is not expected from all guys. Because a lot of women don't want to talk about this either. I mean, if they would ever come on our show, but they say, oh, I'm going to come on, but they never do.
Yeah, they just be chatting.
Different men get different allowances.
Oh, this is true.
That's true.
Some guys do have to wine and dine, and we're talking about dating and pay and, you know, do all kinds of, you know, Hallmark, you know, shit. And other guys, they just pull out the air mattress.
That's it.
We don't want to talk about the air mattress guys, though.
But I don't think they actually take the guy on the air mattress serious. They just use it for what they use it for.
No, Jay, I don't agree. The guy on the air mattress be the one that done broke her heart, used her car.
But would she ever
she
consider-
can't move on to a regular
yeah.
stable guy
Here's what
because
happens with
her
the guy.
heart is still on the air mattress.
Yeah, her heart is still.
No.
I don't care if it's 20 years later. That guy with the air mattress and the bottle of Henny, he imprinted her.
No, he did more than the other guy because
Yeah.
she felt like she went outside of her norm to have faith in someone's potential.
Right.
And when it didn't work out, she's hurt and it's like, I'm not doing that no more.
Yeah.
Right?
That's true. I think a lot.
And look, and while we're talking about that, it's a movie you got to check out. We should review this and talk about it. If you haven't watched Sex Life on Netflix, he watched it.
I didn't
I
see
haven't
it.
seen it.
You gotta watch. You gotta watch the.
No, yeah, that's the one with the I
Yeah,
did
but
start.
it's like 8-10 years later.
Yeah, I did.
She's been married, got the perfect husband, the perfect kid. The husband makes a bunch of money on Wall Street, looks like fucking Captain America.
Yeah.
She is still dreaming about getting dicked down by her ex-boyfriend
I
from
did.
10 years
I did.
ago.
So I did watch that show, and I thought it was realistic in the way it was portrayed, because it kind of deals with the cardinal, the
Yeah.
animalistic nature.
Well, what it is she got with her husband. It was more of a necessity thing.
Right.
Not this is the guy I want. This is the guy I need.
Right.
Right.
So again, you got your carnal evolutionary biology battling with your practical side.
Your practical side.
But to the topic at hand about the broke chicks, we're all old enough to remember when No Scrubs was brand new.
Yeah, I still remember it like yesterday.
And a lot of those women, they were singing No Scrubs way too aggressively to have picked the baby daddies they picked.
This is my thing.
A little too aggressively.
I think that was the start of a lot of things, a lot of trends. My thing is the ones who were singing No Scrubs, but they were scrubs. And see, that's the thing. It's like when we talk like this thing about like men and women. Yeah, I think women sometimes like hold men to a standard that they don't hold themselves.
Of course.
think-
What was the line in the song? We're gonna have to do a song review thing too. Was that hanging out the side? The guy hanging out the side of the
Passenger
passenger ride.
side.
You let the guy in the passenger side nut in you.
on the air match.
Yeah, on the air mattress.
So like,
But now here comes Mr. Miles, or Tyrone years later, like. You got to bring something to the table. He didn't have to bring nothing to the table. I want the same deal he got.
I'm bringing the air mattress.
Yeah, I want the same deal he got.
I'm bringing the air mattress, the
no,
kind
but-
that's self-inflatable.
Yeah.
I get it.
I think that goes both ways. I think a lot of people don't realize where they're dating, like
Yeah.
where you belong, right? Like some people, like everybody's not, like every woman's not gonna get Idris, and I'm not gonna get, certain people. Like it is what it is. And I think we sometimes we all want this, but sometimes we really belong right here.
Yeah. But look,
expectations are too high.
yeah.
Mine included.
Here's the thing.
And one thing, we keep talking about broke. We hadn't talked about needy and uneducated. So I'll say this: needy is bothersome because as a man, a lot of times when you get in a relationship, you think about long term, you're going to fill some holes that's needed, right? Like anybody in a relationship, you're going to fill some spots that's needed that she didn't have filled before, and vice versa. But when you come out the bat and act and just whine about it all the goddamn time,
Yeah.
like that's just annoying.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. When I talk to younger guys, in their early 20s, I tell them, look, man, focus on yourself. If you focus on chasing excellence instead of chasing ass, that stuff that'll find you.
Chase
that's
excellence instead of chasing
You know,
ass.
tell all
do
the
what
kids
you're
I
supposed to
coach-
be doing. Stand on your square, and the women, that stuff will find you.
I tell all the kids I coach, a lot of them come back when they're in college and stuff. I'm like, yo, man, they all come back talking about some girl, right? They're like, yo, man, don't even think about
After
that
the
shit
first
till you're
semester.
30. Oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
even think about that shit till you're 30. They're like, oh, Coach to get married and get these. I'm like, bruh.
Wait until
Wait
you've
until
traveled, until you've seen
done
the
some
world,
stuff,
you learn what
you've
you want to
matured,
learn.
you can recognize some stuff. Not until you're about 30.
Yeah, because if you're like, oh, yeah, I'm 20, I met the love of my life, or like, or you're recycling chicks from high school.
Yeah.
You may have a sample size of 2.
Right.
I mean, come on. You got
Do you know that-
you have 2 data points. Like, come on, man. Be serious.
There's still girls mad at me from high school.
Damn, bro.
You're really.
But
yeah.
no,
You the star athlete, bro.
it's something extra to it. It's like with extra fervor too. It's not just.
They couldn't get what they wanted, bro.
But sometimes it wasn't my fault. You know what I'm saying?
It doesn't
But
matter.
look,
That's
I
a
wanted
self-esteem
Too many
issue.
of the young guys, I can say this. They and I tell these guys too, like, stop passing up the Michelle Obamas
Yeah. Well, Michelle.
for the black Chinas.
Yeah. Well, Michelle look good. You gotta weigh
I'm just saying,
everything.
like, I'm talking about like the nerdy girls.
I get what you mean.
You know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
get
stop
what you
passing
mean.
up them because those are the ones.
But the same thing, that goes both ways.
Society
Everybody
has
wants
to
what's
change
good
its
to the eye.
norms.
Yeah.
A
And
lot
look,
of-
and
a lot
I'll
of
even
guys-
say
a lot of
black
girls-
society
This is something
because
I will give a check mark to the women on.
Yeah.
Women will look at a guy who's a 6 or a 7, say I can make him a 10.
When they
Guys are
mature, not in
straight.
high school. In high school,
hey,
they want,
man.
they want that
I don't
dude.
know.
Guys are straight.
Because
I
we're
don't know.
more business.
A lot of the homies got ugly girlfriends. That's not necessarily true.
right.
Um.
Hey, look.
Dang. Did I just say that?
But you had it. But
Yeah.
that's they came to their realization. But like I think women in we talking about in high school. A lot of women, every women want the guys. They want the football players. They want the basketball players. That's high school stuff, right? And you get
Same
older.
thing happened when you grown.
Yeah.
But you know how many
Even
people I have ran across
it
again
don't
that were
matter
like,
what
"Oh,
community
you
you
were
in."
cute in high school. Quit lying, chick. You ain't think
Then
that."
she dropping those big heads.
Well,
stop
it
that.
seems as if a lot of women want whatever the hierarchy of
I
whatever
think-
situation is.
Yeah, and I think what happens is when you get older, what matters changes.
Yeah, and let me add
Yeah,
this.
that's definitely true.
And I want to see what the expert thinks about this because this is my own theory here. I cannot wait
I
to
cannot
hear
argue with your theories. no.
your what you think. I think that simps mess it up because, and when I say simps, I mean men that go above and beyond, like are okay with getting stepped on, are okay with being talked down upon, just so for the possibility of getting some tail.
Right.
And so, like, I'll do whatever you say.
Yeah.
I'll pay your bills, and you can
What
treat
was
me
that old
back.
baby face song? I'll buy your
I'll
clothes.
pay your
I'll
rent.
cook your dinner.
Yeah,
As soon as I get home from work, we don't sing that part.
Yeah,
we
You
gonna
gotta
go
hit
over
with
that
the
song.
whip appeal, though.
Yeah.
The song was a whip appeal. Like, let's get it twisted.
Yeah.
That song was about being a simp because you got the goods put on you.
Well, but this is what I'm saying. I'm like, I think that there's an abundance of men who do that, and then when women run up against practical men or men who weigh their options,
Men who have options.
or men who don't want to pay your rent after talking for 2 weeks, but they're so used to the guys that do everything. They don't like them guys, but they do everything, and they want to transfer that behavior over to the guys that they like.
Right.
And when they don't get it, it's a problem. So simps, y'all gonna have to stop. Y'all making it hard on all these fellas out here that's trying to be practical and just be regular men. Y'all making them have to cook eggs in the morning, which is fine and all that stuff. but women asking guys to pay their rent after 1 and 2 weeks, the question should be, what would you do if I wasn't here? And leave it at that.
Right. And to your point, we all know simps are the garbage men of the game.
That's why I wanted
They're
to
the
hear
cleanup
your
men,
opinion.
You know.
Wow.
Yeah, the simps are the garbage men of the
Calling
game.
Rock.
Whoa.
Oh, damn. We can sing, too.
Charles S. Dutton.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Shout out to the TV show Rock.
Jay is Uncle Joey.
I mean, it's really about guys that are taking care of their business and on their purpose, or even on the rise. It's knowing your worth.
Yeah,
It's really about you knowing your worth as a
I
man.
think that's what it comes down.
And
to.
I'll even deal with, when we talk about society, community. I'm talking about the black dating world and in mating and a relationship world, because that's what we deal with.
Let me add something real quick too. And just because a man has a lot of money does not mean he's not a simp. Men with a lot of money oftentimes simp the most.
The most.
Yeah.
And being around women who are around men with a lot of money who is just willing to, you're hungry? Let me send you 5 steaks.
Right.
When they run into men who can't do that,
Right.
or if it's just not physically responsible for them to do that,
Right.
then they look down on them men because, again, you got men
You know,
setting the expectation
and see,
I read-
that most men can't or not willing to
And I got to
do.
piggyback on what Tyrone said, and
you
you go,
good.
with the simping, you're not buying affection. Like I always say, you're buying cooperation.
No, I agree. And I read a meme.
I mean, I cooperate with my boss because they pay me to be there.
These are facts. So
That's true.
I read this meme one time, and basically the gist was that guy might have spent $1,000 on you who had $1 million, so it didn't mean anything to him. But there's a guy willing to spend $50 on you, and he only has a couple hundred, right? So like, what was the sacrifice? What all did it mean to do it?
That's a really good point.
Right. I say it all the time. I've seen women in different situations, like celebrities or around like the big drug dealer in the neighborhood or whoever they feel is the apex of the men around them. What I see all the time, and we've talked about this before, women will go to them and don't get anything out of it except some fun in the bedroom and sent home.
Hard dick and cheap liquor. And
don't expect nothing of these men. But the man that works a 9-to-5 or trying to start his business and working his butt off, he has to do everything.
Bring something to the table.
Everything. The celebrity just got to get in your picture like this. And you giving him everything he wants. And there's something weird about that dynamic because you'll see it. They don't get no money. They might get a dinner, which is a pittance with the money he have that he could spend.
Right.
But like you said, the guy who has got $200 and willing to spend $50, no. I need you to spend $500. Right. But they don't. But the same woman will go on a date with somebody with millions of dollars, and he don't got to spend nothing. She'll buy the food.
The fact that he got it.
What is that dynamic?
I remember. Hey, do you remember when we did Cigars and Conversations over at
Smoke Ring? Yes, fun times.
There was somebody that we all know, and she said, because we talked about what kind of guys do you like, what kind of girls do you like, and her statement was, I like being around the boss.
Yes.
So you want to be in that area. Didn't matter what happened, how he treated you.
Right.
She was just like, I like being around the boss.
We see it all the time on the micro level.
She thinks it's the boss.
Even in the cigar world, it's a lot of women who like to be around who they think is somebody favorable to their image or
high social
like
high status.
A high social status. And you'll see them. They'll be like, ooh, his nuts, I'm grabbing them. And just go wherever they go. And it's just part of what certain people do. But
now Jay, to corroborate the meme you had, I have my handy stats right here. So don't
dandy stats.
So don't argue with me, people. Argue with the Bureau of Labor Statistics. The median earnings. This is as of 2018. I can't imagine it's changing a whole lot. Black women. You know what it is?
Black women?
Yes.
No. 65,000.
You're way off.
42.
You're closer.
35?
$36,695.
Really? Okay.
That's the median.
That makes sense. I can see why. Now I think about it, I can see why. But
and it's a lot of women out here who look like they have a lot of money, but no, it be the Simps money. Look, I have ran into women driving full-on Maseratis, Range Rover, Land Rovers, and they look like they got it all and don't got nothing. It's somebody who they playing or who they leading on, or somebody who just hope they eventually gonna get to it, that's willing to give them whatever they want. But what I see is their problem is when they got to deal with regular guys, they don't know how to adapt.
They don't even know how to communicate.
They don't know how to communicate. They don't know.
So are you saying you think they have an issue dealing with guys on their level?
Yes, their actual level, not their perceived level.
Right.
Or the level that they're trying to give the perception of. Because those are two totally separate things. I saw a video the other day, and there was a guy, and he was like, look at her house. And he started showing her house. I guess she was an Instagram model. He was like, look how nasty it is. Look how nasty it is.
Oh, now, I saw that.
Now he was no better because he said that he had quit his job and had to call his job to hire him back. So you quit your job because you was about to go stay with this woman. You a sucker too, so you don't get away with it. But at the same time, he was showing how a lot of these women, like, you'll think they have it all, and they don't have 15 cents. And there's nothing wrong with not having nothing. We all go through those periods. Right. I'm currently in that period.
Right.
But the thing that you don't have, when you putting out this perception of the opposite,
right?
That's when the lines get blurred.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jay.
it's a push and pull from the ladies that are really out there getting it and independent and doing their thing. And then you got the flip side of that is the Instagram culture that
Pretending to have it.
pretending to have everything. And it's like that with men too, but it's not as prevalent with men.
Men do it too. Everybody leaning on cars and the money phones.
With the fake money
Hey,
phones.
we seen the fake money the other day. JC his first
I was blown
Amazon
away.
money.
What?
I was blown away
His
by how
first
real that
Amazon
money
money.
was.
Where was I? I'm never around when this stuff happens.
It was his first Amazon money
That
experience.
money looks real.
It looked so real. I gave my son $100 the next day just messing with him, and all day he thought it was real. And my lesson to him was I keep telling him stop talking trash to people, stop showing off. So I let him show off a little bit. Then I said that's why your money was fake. Stop showing off, boy. But
So,
it's the culture we live in.
So as we close out this topic, what do you want people to take from this, Miles?
Calm down, be you, be real, deal with people as they come. I think we live in a real capitalistic, materialistic society that's really poisonous, and it's poisonous to each other to try to live up to that stuff that we just can't live up to, and the person you're gonna be with or that you're trying to get can't live up to it either. And I think that's why we have a hard time, especially in our culture, especially in our community, because we're too busy saying why we shouldn't be with each other as opposed to why we should be with each other, and we got to work on that.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think in especially in the black community, we got to stop arguing over who have it worse. A lot of times people get caught up in that argument. Like women be like, "We got it bad out here," and men like, "We got it bad." How about we just all have it a certain way?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like we don't have to have the infighting to see
Yeah.
who has it. You know what, expert? I had a worse day than you.
You know, we always talk about the victim Olympics. And look, there's no perfect. Like I said, there's no perfect situation. There's just trade-offs.
Pretty much.
That's all it is. You're just making trade-offs.
What's up,
Yeah.
Anika? Finally made it through.
She's she's IG chick. Like you said, yeah, she an IG model, but her house looked like a hazmat. It looked like the
IG
inside of the
models,
Wuhan lab. You know what I'm saying?
you see the other IG model got killed too?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
I
got
saw
killed by her maintenance man at her apartment complex. He tried to talk to her. She turned him down. He took the key from the apartments, went inside and killed her. At her
Yeah,
crib.
Simp behavior.
That's scary. That is simp
Yeah.
behavior.
Pretty
That's
scary.
very scary.
Out here
But
for it.
I am,
Women need to be more careful, man, because
Yeah.
the IG model from Houston that was killed,
Yeah.
it was a fan.
Yeah. Now look,
Random.
I mean, we all fans of certain IG chick, but look, we got to talk about another Thursday, another Wednesday. You simps have got to learn how to accept rejection and stay in your lane.
yeah.
It's a problem, man. I'm getting like it's really concerning that the level, especially in our community, there's a high level of
Well, I always
not only
say,
domestic violence, but guys killing women today.
no, I agree.
But
high
I don't know if
level.
it's just our community though.
No, it's
I
not.
think
Our
that-
community-
I think
I've
that's
actually,
something that's
I've actually done an expert research on this. The percentage in the black
You got to bring some.
Yeah,
stats.
it is high. I know what he's talking about.
Is
It is
it
high.
higher based on percentage or overall numbers?
A percentage.
Wow,
Well,
I'll have to look into that.
Percentage of us is really up there.
But you know
Yeah.
the thing is,
So you emotional, thirsty males, y'all got to
well,
calm
it's
down,
not
man.
I wouldn't go
Well,
that
but
far.
can we? Are
I
there
was-
nuances too? Some cultures of women are less likely to call the police on their husbands and different
But
things
these
like
aren't
that.
necessarily husbands.
Some
These aren't
husbands, men, boyfriend, associates,
we
whatever.
Yeah.
So-
I'm just
so-
trying to say black men don't do nothing wrong.
No, I got you, but
Damn it.
But I think I say this all the time. As a man, a lot of men have PTSD because we've been getting rejected since we were 13, 14 years old in some form of fashion.
Speak for yourself.
All right, my bad, bro.
He's
Y'all-
never
y'all
been
can't be-
rejected. by
y'all
the way.
can't be
I've
you,
been
Tyrone.
rejected plenty, but I'm not going to claim that shit.
I mean, that one time, but I mean, other than that, it hadn't happened.
I get rejected by a lot of.
I mean, other than that one time, it hadn't happened since then, right?
Rejection happens a lot, but I'm not
But-
about to claim it.
So I like it's like we have our like that has happened time and time again over the years. Like you develop a certain kind of way toward it, right?
Scar tissue, yeah.
You have scar tissue, just like for women, whether it be cheating or whether it be guys treating them a certain way. They have their scar tissue as well. And I think with guys, we aren't necessarily as equipped, or we haven't learned how to deal with our emotions as well as women have, because for so long in our life we've been taught not to deal with emotion. Just put it up, stop crying, get back out there, be a man. And I think some guys, not all, and I'm not this is not to defend them, can't deal with emotions well. We know that. Some men don't, and it comes out bad in that situation.
That's true.
Much like
but don't encourage too much damn crying. Fine line on that crying.
Yeah, I mean,
it is a fine line.
It's very moist behavior.
But you have to learn to deal with it, not necessarily act it out, but you gotta know how to deal with the emotional situation, right?
Right.
And I think a lot of us don't. And you get that situation, and you've all been hard. A lot of stuff comes out the wrong way. Yeah. Exactly, 10 man. So I don't
hard on the outside, hollow in.
So
yeah.
So I think, and it sucks, right? And it sucks because I really feel bad for the women. The level of vulnerability a woman has to give up every single day, just waking up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. So my comments on this topic before we move on to the next is, ladies, we're in a phase right now where women's independence is at the forefront. Women are becoming bosses. Women are achieving in levels that we've never seen before. With that comes guys being more picky. So when you hear the sentence, men are tired of dating broke, needy, uneducated females too, that means that because you've raised your level, men are now raising their level. And that is okay to do.
At least a level of expectation.
It's perfectly okay for a man to say, hey, I don't want to deal with that no more. I'm not just looking for a big button and smile anymore. I want something that's going to back me up when I'm hurt.
Exactly.
I want something that when I'm laid off, I can count on the mortgage still being paid.
I want something. We added, it was education in there, right?
Yeah.
Facts.
And for me, it's not necessarily that I need a certain amount of education, but I do want a woman that's informed.
I agree.
I met a woman who is incredibly educated and is dumb as a doorknob at the same time.
Facts.
So education is something that you can hold over somebody, but you might not be able to think your way out of a wet paper bag.
That's where I was going to go.
Yeah.
I need someone who can think for themselves and be able to think very well.
Yeah.
Be able to interpret knowledge, take in knowledge, be knowledgeable. Just because you went and got degrees don't mean
that don't mean
that.
Yeah,
I got 5 degrees. How I open this box of cereal?
Right, that means you regurgitate information inside of
you
one
don't
particular
buy.
thing.
It just literally means that you're good at taking tests.
And the other thing too, when and we'll close it out. When the way they reacted to you and blocked you or unfriended you, some women do get very angry about men
being picky,
having standards,
or telling the truth
and saying, look, I have options. I don't. Why should I deal with you?
Right.
You're not supposed to say that, expert.
Other than a series of holes, what do you bring? To the table?
Or you know what I don't like when women say, "Me and you guys would just mess with anything moving." That's not true.
Some of y'all,
that's not true.
Hey,
I've had a woman tell me that couldn't catch no dick on a good day.
Hey, you know what?
You can't get none. What you mean? Everybody want to mess with everybody?
You know what the joke is? Some of them are the anything.
All right, I think and with that, it's time for the next topic.
It's time for the next topic. So, who want to bring this one in? We're going to talk about Ben and Kyrie and their craziness.
Yeah, go ahead and bring it in, man.
I'm still stuck on you are the.
You are the product if it's free.
You say you are the anything?
You are the anything.
Y'all
I hate that statement. Y'all fucking, that's not
You're
true.
the anything, man.
Because you never know what's really going on behind that door.
Right.
Why he's with her.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But anyway, so we're talking about these NBA players. So we've had 3 NBA players that have been in the spotlight about not possibly playing ball this year, right?
Right.
The 3 were Kyrie, Ben Simmons, and Andrew Wiggins. Right?
Yeah.
So for different reasons. So with Ben and Andrew, they're kind of the same. They didn't want to get vaccinated, and they play in.
Not Ben. Ben wasn't that.
Not Ben. Kyrie and Andrew.
Kyrie and Andrew.
Kyrie and Andrew did not want to get vaccinated. Said they weren't going to get vaccinated, and they play in cities that have mandate vaccine mandates, right?
Hey, look, guys.
So,
Yeah.
Just for the record, the NBA is not doing this. This is the
not the
cities
NBA.
they live in.
But I will say this though, there are some teams that are.
Right.
So like the LA Lakers mandated everybody get vaccinated.
Right.
Right. But so the city of San Francisco has a mandate for certain public facilities with a certain amount of people. The city of New York has the same mandate. So with Kyrie playing in Brooklyn and Andrew playing for Golden State, which is now in San Francisco, not in Oakland anymore, it's now in San Francisco, they wouldn't be able to play any home games or any games in those cities. So it became a big deal. Like, how did they handle that?
Just the logistics of it, yeah.
Logistics, well, yeah, or even more so, it became how's a distraction to your team?
Right.
Are you putting yourself and your family above your team and your job? And that's
You should.
You should, yeah.
But people call them crazy for doing it.
Well,
now, Andrew Wiggins,
because people only look at monetary worth.
I agree with what. So even NBA, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar said he should be cut and
this the guy who couldn't get a job because he smoked weed
and
got blackballed.
You see my point? So a lot of these guys who are attached to the job and think that because these guys make a certain amount of money, the team owns them, or even as fans, we own them. We don't. But I will say since then, Andrew Wiggins has gotten vaccinated, and because he would have lost $8.9 million.
$8.9 million.
Right.
Yeah. And for him, that's now Kyrie's. If it happens with Kyrie, he'll lose $35 million. But Kyrie has made over $200 million, so for him, 35 might not be as big of a deal.
Right.
As for a guy named Andrew, who's only made $30 million his career.
Did you say only?
Well,
I'm gonna give you a small anecdote.
Hold on, let me tell you.
but look, I'm gonna tell you something because I think a lot of it is people's mind frame on money and what only is. I know a football player who didn't make more than $2 million, right, his whole career, and never have to work again because of right decisions.
I agree. So
making more money not playing than he made playing.
There are a lot of NBA players. That's not what I'm referring to. I'm referring to how 9 million versus 35 is a lot different than 35 versus 200.
Absolutely.
That's what I was saying as far as the only
Absolutely.
goes. I wasn't saying way of life.
Absolutely.
As far as that goes,
Absolutely.
right? So you're talking about these guys taking a stance what they believe in and willing to pay for it, right? As for Ben Simmons, it's a little bit different.
It is a lot different.
It's totally different. So Ben has played. He's on a $200 million contract or something. $150 million.
200 million.
200 million with Philly.
Nice.
And after they lost last year, he took a lot of blame, and rightfully so, for them not being as successful as they possibly could have been because he has deficiencies in his game. I'm not going to become a nerd and tell you what they are. Let's just say he has some deficiencies in his game. So
can he shoot yet?
That's one of the deficiencies. It's not that he can't shoot. He's not willing to shoot. That's a difference. Because if you look at all his
No confidence because you can't.
right, but if you look at all his stuff he does in the summer,
Well,
he makes a lot of shots. I think it's a mental block.
He actually did shoot.
You look at it now. The stuff he does during the summer, he makes a lot. I think it's a mental block.
Mental block. That Charles Barkley golf swing thing.
Yeah, exactly. And I think also
Right.
Philly fans are hard on you, bro.
Philly fans
So
are rough.
if you're not mentally prepared to deal with that type of criticism, it might be a tough place for you to be. But having said that, he decided he wanted to get traded. And I don't even think it was because of that. I think what really happened was he got overly criticized.
I don't think he wanted to face the Philly fans again.
No, I don't think that's it. That's part of it. But I think the major thing was right after the finals were over, his head coach, Doc Rivers, and Joel Embiid both had interviews with the media. And Embiid criticized his game and said if he'd have done this, we'd have won. And then Doc Rivers
Now
said,
Embiid ain't perfect either.
not at all. And Doc Rivers
Sometimes
said,
that extra crying stuff goes to him too.
as a coach, they asked Doc Rivers, can you win a championship with Ben Simmons? And he said no. And so I think,
Did he?
yes.
I don't remember that.
That was right. No, go check the interviews right after the season was over. He said no. I watched the interview.
We have somebody in the audience saying, Miles, that's fake news.
Check it out. Look it up. So he said that to the media. He said, I don't think you can win with him as a
Okay.
But anyway, regardless, he has now changed that and said something different over the last couple of weeks.
Right.
But I think he was offended at the interviews. Like, if we're on a team and you have a problem with me, why are you telling them?
Just handle it in the locker room.
Right, tell me I'm right here. You have my number.
Well, and
I don't
also-
want to. So he doesn't want to play there anymore.
And also what that does to a player is that lowers their trade value. That lowers their value going to
Facts.
other teams when your coach is talking down on you.
Right.
A coach is highly respected.
We gotta understand that professional sports is about negotiating and getting the most you can for the least you can if possible.
Well, isn't that
And that
that's
would be
corporate
a
America?
reason to
That's
be like,
America, period.
That's corporate
It's
America.
corporate America, period. And so negative connotations and certain things can really, really bring down your value. But should he had just played hurt like Kawhi until he got traded?
You can't play hurt. But what he did was he said, please trade me. He said that months ago. I don't want to be here. Please trade me. I'll hold out. So when he said he'll hold out, of course, Philly fans, everybody got on him like, you being a baby. You know what I'm saying? Quit being a baby. Man up, grab your nuts and play. Well, I'm like, if y'all don't want him, he don't want to be there, why are you trying to make him play? Right?
Contract too deep already.
And
Deep.
here's the deal. It's only a year in. Here's the deal, though. I think that I mean, for a 5-year deal.
He's only a year into the
only a
contract.
year.
So it's still a lot of money on the table.
No, because he can lose. He's losing $360,000 a game, right? So the thing is, I think my thing is people look at NBA players and envy because of the amount of money they make, right? I can quit my job tomorrow because I don't want to be there, and I can run across 100 jobs before I get home I'm qualified for, right? NBA players only have 30 jobs in the world when they're qualified for. And you might not even have that many if someone else is there for you. You might only have 4, 5, 6 places you can go where you can, and on top of that, you're under contract. So unlike any other contract in the world, if I have a contract with Soapbox Heroes, a contract is an agreement between two principals, right?
Right.
So I can back out the contract and you can back out the contract. NBA players are not allowed to back out their contract. Say, hey, I don't want to work. I'll go find somewhere else to work.
That's why they put pressure like this.
Exactly.
Ben Simmons, he's not the first person to do this. Not even close.
Not even close.
So
He's done something a lot of other players have done. Hundreds of other players have
the
probably
issue
done.
with Ben now, though, because he was pretty firm on,
Yeah, until he missed that first check.
but now they're holding $8.7 million of his money in escrow, the check that he was supposed to receive.
You're supposed to go after it. Whether you're supposed to get it or not,
And
it's
Ben-
$8 million.
Ben goes
Chase
to,
it.
Ben goes to the Players Association and he's like, am I going to be able to recoup this money? There's $8.7 million, and the Players Association is like, no. So now he's rethinking his whole strategy. Should he
Expert,
report to
I'm
training
going after
camp?
that money whether I'm wrong or whether I'm really wrong. I'm going after it.
I'm doubling down either way.
Now going to training camp because he realizes that his trade value is only going to increase if he reports to training camp and plays.
Somewhat.
No, it depends how he plays too, especially after taking a stance.
Right.
Because we've seen players take a stance and then their play decrease after the stance, and then they're never worth the same
here's the
amount of
deal.
money again.
It's
Well, we know this for a fact. He's not James Harden. Harden showed up last year and was out of shape, showed up late, and didn't even care. Was averaging 15 points a game.
But if he
But he
James
is a
Harden-
good player, though. I
He's
don't
a
want
really good
I
player.
don't want to make it
People like
you
he's
sorry.
not.
No.
Like,
You
Ben
can't
Simmons
stop
is-
Ben Simmons going to the basket.
and
First of all-
defensively, he's great. Top 10.
Right.
He's a top 10 point guard in the league.
he's
so-
a jump
so-
shot away from being a Hall of Famer.
Well, I think, and see, that's the thing. What if the jump shot isn't his thing? What if it is to dish and go to the basket? We want every player to
Right.
fit a certain mold.
And on
He's
top-
great at what he does.
And on top of that,
Right.
if he played for a different team, if he played, and I'm just being a nerd. If he was played for Miami, played for Detroit, you'd be calling him a Hall of Famer right now. But the thing is, in Philadelphia,
That's true.
because you have Joel Embiid and you have the way Doc Rivers likes to play, you have to give Joel Embiid the ball first, right? So you give it on the block and you kind of move, and everything that's left
On
is
the
a jump
block,
shot.
he wants the ball at damn near
Wherever
half
he
court.
wants it. But only thing that's left after that is a jump shot.
Joel is a monster.
Right, but
He is a monster, but
once he passes
he's a
it
little
out,
sensitive at
only
times.
thing left is a jump shot, and that's not what Ben does. Ben needs to be going downhill, attract. Either you gonna
So-
stop him,
so is
attract a double team, and find
So
somebody.
is he like a Russell Westbrook where he needs the ball in his hand to be
Yes.
effective?
He's
Do you
more
think
like
he can be
Magic
a
Johnson.
Draymond?
He's more like Magic Johnson.
Do you think he can play his natural position, which is power forward?
his natural position is point guard?
His
But
natural
do you-
positions, I don't
Do
think
you
he would
think
be.
can play the power forward?
Why? No,
No. He's
That's
a ball handler.
That's like all the quarterbacks, black quarterbacks, that try to make wide receivers.
Yeah.
No, he's a point guard.
Another Cordell Stewart.
Yeah, he's
was- if he was-
6'9". He weighs 115 pounds, soaking wet.
If he was
And he can
playing
handle
like-
the rock.
He doesn't play with his
He
back
can
to
go
the
to the
basket.
basket.
Why would you make him?
If he was playing a Draymond's position or a Draymond type player,
No.
you don't think that would be effective for him?
Hell no.
Pre-Steph Curry, he would already be in the conversation for
Best point guard in the league.
one of the best point guards in the league.
We have gotten to this. NBA has gotten to a point where they're real jump shot happy, and there are a lot of players.
I agree with
You
that.
know, because you get scores like 117 to 132.
Actually, if you look at it, the average NBA score, I think, and this was a stat. It was crazy when I saw it. This was a couple years ago. The average NBA score is 111. The average amount of points scored in an NBA game is 111.
How much was it 10, 15 years ago?
111.
111 then?
It was the same thing.
So what about?
I gotta see that, Miles, because
So what was the average
I was
score?
gonna say
for more
87.
defensive. I remember championships being 90 to 88.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
that.
Yeah,
so-
but that's during the playoffs when things got really like buckled down.
What about, I don't know, in the like 90, like 95, or like 30 years ago or something?
Here's the deal. Those guys scored a lot of points without using a three-pointer. We use a lot of three-pointers, and the percentages are down, so they shoot a
Ben
lot more.
Simmons would be great
He,
at the time before
if Ben
everybody
Simmons
had
played
to shoot.
1987, he'd be Magic Johnson, and I'm not bullshitting.
No,
He
he
would.
would.
You know what I'm saying?
He would.
But-
His passing
and
isn't as good.
No, but
his
his passing is great, though.
athleticism
Would
and
make him-
skill level would
And
definitely match
if
that.
he played in the late 90s, he'd be Penny Hardaway. That's the thing. Like, people nowadays.
Tracy McGrady.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? But I mean, Tracy can shoot, so it's a little bit different. But I understand
Yeah,
what you're saying,
true.
though. And the thing is, we're
Tracy
so
had a knockdown
jump shot
jump
happy.
shot.
He had a knock, but he wasn't a
Because that's the knock
primary
on
just
LeBron,
shooter.
right? Everybody say LeBron can't shoot, but his percentages are higher than Jordan and Kobe and all that shit.
I don't like that because he wins championships.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody just wants to see jump shots. Jump shots have become favorable.
Yeah.
What'd you
He can-
say?
Number three. He'll be number 2 by the end of the year.
Yeah. Well,
But
the
he's
number one
averaged-
scorer in NBA history didn't make hardly no. Did Kareem ever make a three-pointer?
Never.
He made one.
And he's the number one scorer
made
in
one.
NBA history.
Here's the deal. LeBron has averaged 25 points for 17 straight years.
Why you turn everything into a LeBron
No, what I
conversation?
was making his point. Not about. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Sharp right there.
No, I was saying that
See the goat.
you don't have to
See-
be a
see
shooter to
skill?
be great.
Go, James.
Like, let me hold
Yeah.
on.
Skip. That's the
All
goat
right,
skip.
so I'll take LeBron out of it. Kevin Durant, right? Kevin Durant is one of the best shooters we've ever seen, right? The
Right,
most
right.
he's averaged is 28 points a season. The most points he's ever had in the game was 54.
I'll go
Kobe
back.
had that at half. LeBron has had 60, 70 point games, right? Like, it's not like just because you can shoot, you're going to be that drastically better.
Right.
But it's what everybody likes to see now. And the thing is, he can be effective without being a great jump shooter. My only issue with Ben Simmons shooting
What if he got
is
a
his
floater?
free throws. Now, you got to be able to hit free throws.
You gotta be able to
You
hit
can't
free
be a
throws.
point guard and shoot 35% in the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
What if he developed a floater?
Something, that's fine. But it's not about that.
Because you know who I saw?
I think he has a
I've
floater.
been watching preseason, and the one player this preseason, not to jump completely off the subject, that stood out to me out of all the preseason games I watched so far was Tyler Hero. He actually developed a floater.
Got to. But
He scored the first 16 points for Miami the other night.
But you know why, though? Why Tyler Hero has to have a floater versus why Ben Simmons has to have a floater? Because Tyler Hero is a jump shooter. And if I know you're only shooting jump shots, I'm not going to let you get anything. So I got to get you off of this
Right.
to be able to get back to that. So for Ben Simmons, he's a downhill guy, right? Defensively, when they played Atlanta in the playoffs this year, Philly doesn't win that playoff series if Ben Simmons doesn't shut Trae Young down, right? So there are more to the game than just shooting jump shots.
Let me
And that's
say
the thing.
this.
And I just think I'll let you have it. My last statement: him and Ben Simmons him and Joel Embiid just don't work.
Yeah, I think Ben Simmons is a good enough player to where, remember when the teams used to form the team around the skills of the player?
Right.
Now they want the player to just form their skills to the tradition of the new NBA. I thought that was your last statement.
That was no.
He said, "I cannot let this stand."
No, I was compounding on yours. Compounding on yours.
But you're still talking again.
You're right. I am. Last year, Joel Embiid was down for like a month, right?
Yeah.
They won like 80, 90% of games. He won like a 12-game winning streak or some shit. He had a game of 42 points. He averaged like 28 or something. He carried that squad.
He needs to be
Because
on
they
a team
changed
where he
the
could go
offense
to the
where he's a
basket
guy.
and dish to a shooter.
Question.
Hence the reason he wants to leave Philly.
Question.
And
I don't want a but. I want yes or no. Would you make that deal for Ben Simmons and Kyrie Irving at this point?
Well, everything isn't about what you want,
No.
Jay, so I'm going to give you a but.
No.
I'm just playing. No.
I would not put Ben Simmons in I would not put him in the locker
He
room.
looked at me like, what the hell you just said?
You getting the butt anyway.
If he can't handle the shit that Joel Embiid is saying too, I'm not putting him in the locker room with Kevin Durant and James Harden. Are you crazy? That's two of the most confident mental giants in the world. And you gonna put him in there with
James
Ben
Harden
Simmons?
don't care what nobody
Don't give
say.
a fuck.
He does not.
You need him on the team where he is the man.
James Harden will lose the championship, go to the strip club, and look at you like, why are you judging me?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel James Harden. Like, I feel attacked.
right. Like, you know.
I love him. I love James. And his
I tell your
game,
team, I would put
but
him
I'm
on.
just happy that we on to the next level.
Yeah.
No, I'd put him
team.
like a team like Milwaukee. He worked really well with.
That would be a great destination.
Well,
for
But they,
Ben.
just, I mean, it's not gonna happen. But it would be great.
Look, going to the original topic in just a few people, Kyrie. I think Kyrie standing on his morals and principles, I think that's great. I also think that the NBA is a league of private owners, and they're going to do what they want to do.
Facts.
Life is like this. You can do whatever you want. You
Right.
just have to be prepared for the consequences.
And I think he is.
And if he is prepared for the consequences and want to stand on that, more power to you. If you don't, you don't. Some things are like arguments that we don't even always got to have.
I just
Like,
if
you don't want to play, that's on him.
No, and I agree 1,000%. And I think the issue that bothers me is that he gets the label of being crazy and selfish for it.
They're always going to make you look crazy and selfish when you don't go with the status quo.
Facts. That's my point.
Anytime. This is what, like Andrew Wiggins. I enjoyed when he was talking to the press about his status because they picked the wrong one. They picked somebody who was eloquent, articulate, and knew how to handle questions. Now, whatever he did in his private life is what he decided to do. But
you see what he told that lady?
Yeah, and it's always funny when they try to see people seem crazy when these people have had a long history of not being crazy, and now suddenly they're crazy.
Right.
There's something to that.
What Dave Chapelle say is dismissive.
It's
like
dismissive.
You don't get to that point in life where you're that level of success without being intelligent, strong, smart. Like, you know what I mean?
Andrew Wiggins made me proud, whether he ended up taking it or not.
When he told that to that lady,
should be private because there is nothing else that ever happens in this country as far as your health that you are almost forced to tell people. Has anybody asked him if he taken the AIDS test lately?
Nope.
Nobody cares about
they don't
none of that
stuff. They
stuff.
condoms. They don't ask none of that shit.
That should be private.
And we know those guys are not wearing condoms. Brittany Reynolds told us so.
She did tell us so.
But did you see what he told the reporter? Andrew Wiggins told the reporter?
No, I didn't see that.
So they were asking him questions about that. He just kept saying that's a private matter and it's not that big of a deal. And she said, well, it's obviously a big deal because it's a lot of money. And he said, that's my problem, not yours. Next question.
Wow.
And she had nothing else to say.
Well, but then there was a reporter after her who has something to say. And that's where the problem lies because the media has so much power of pressuring somebody into saying something to where they weigh what other people think. If they stopped asking them this stuff a long time ago, it wouldn't be a problem. But they know if I constantly ask, it's going to be in everybody's lexicon, so you have to talk about it.
If Kyrie Irving played for the Houston Rockets, this would not be an issue.
It wouldn't be an issue.
If Andrew Wiggins played for Detroit Pistons, it would not be an issue. Let me tell you why it wouldn't be an issue. Because it only missed 5-6 games a year. It's because they play in those cities and they got to miss 42 games a year or 44 games a year when you consider both places. Then it's like, oh, it's a big deal, right? Because I'm pretty sure they're not the only two players in the world that's not vaccinated. But they're the ones.
And California is so off. Gavin Newsom locked everybody down and then went out and had his family and friends go to a private dinner with no mask. You know, the whole thing is so hypocritical.
Right.
And so I can see where the players are coming from, where a lot of it don't make sense. The guy on the Bucks, when he was talking about natural immunity, they asked Fauci about natural immunity. I've never thought about this. Well, you're the leading infectious disease doctor guru on the face of the planet all of a sudden, but you'd have no clue about natural immunity.
That's disturbing.
You're lying.
And look, here's the other thing, too.
That's why they don't want to just take it.
Since we're talking about New York, I don't know if you guys know this. New York has an exemption for performers and actors. If you were,
I just came from New York.
Yeah, if you were a singer,
that's nothing.
If you were a singer, you can say
they're not.
You're a singer and actor. They're not going to ask you shit.
I'm trying to tell you. Negative nothing
Wow.
whatsoever.
So it's
all
not-
of it is a sham.
It's arbitrary.
All I just got from New York.
No, I feel you.
They
But-
ain't asked nothing.
So
Not
the
a
New York
thing.
teams are full of shit.
They are.
But it's not the New York team. It's not the team.
It's New York
The
State.
city.
It's the
I mean, the
city.
state. The state's full of shit too. All of
So,
it.
but here's the deal. It
That's
comes,
why you're the expert.
Hey, I'm just saying.
It comes down to them having the choice, right? So, like, I'll give you a prime example. I'll put my shit out here. I don't have to. I'm not vaccinated. I'm not gonna get vaccinated. And I know as they were talking about mandates coming down and mandates for the military. Then there was mandates for hospitals. Then there was mandate for government employees. I had a conversation because where I work, I have to go inside of schools. So I had a conversation with the person I work for saying eventually one day if these mandates keep flowing, it's going to get to the school system, right? And
It's there.
right, well, not yet, but
Not in Texas.
not in Texas, right?
California,
California, right.
12 to take
Yeah.
So-
over 12 to take
But it's going to get to the point where people that work in the schools have to take it, right? Have to get vaccinated. And so
already have to.
no, I got you. And you know, the part of the conversation was, you know, it's going to Texas to be one of the last ones to do it because we're such a red state. But I was like, look, if it comes down to that point, I'm about to find something else to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to find another job or another responsibility inside of this company.
So you're taking the Kyrie stance.
I'm willing to do that.
And-
But-
and
here's-
which plenty of people are.
Yeah.
Everybody's not the same. I think with this whole thing, I think we got to get past the point to where we're like blaming each other. The vaccinated against the unvaccinated. We're obviously being pitted against each other for gain for certain people.
you want to hear some irony in that shit? So
I love irony.
So I have a homegirl that's a nurse.
I haven't ironed in years.
I posted this because she called me about it. Then she posted, and I posted after. So she's a nurse in a little city out by Dallas. I don't know what the same is. It's like an hour away from Dallas. And she works for an agency inside of a hospital, right? And she was exposed. Her daughter was exposed to COVID, and she was exposed to COVID. But she is vaccinated. So she called them and said, hey, I've been exposed. I just got tested. I can't go in. You know what they told her?
What?
It's okay to go in if you have COVID or if you've been exposed, if you've been vaccinated. They were going to send her to work in a hospital with COVID or possibly with COVID because she was vaccinated. But if you're not vaccinated, you can't work at all regardless.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy.
All of it is crazy. What I have noticed is, and I'm looking for the story, I always forward myself stories when I watch them or see them. What I find amazing is when somebody vaccinated gets sick, they never put it in the headlines. When somebody unvaccinated gets sick, it's always in the headlines. But there was a fantasy football guy, 39 years old. He dies, fully vaccinated. You got to find it in the bottom of the story. Every story you read, if it's something that happens to somebody, Chris Rock, when he got sick, he was fully vaccinated. Chris Rock is saying this and that, but you guys are leaving out one small detail.
Right.
He's fully vaccinated.
Yeah, you have to actually read, and I looked for this because we talked about this. I looked for those stories about Chris Rock. It's like in the 7th paragraph down that he's fully vaccinated. It's not in the headline.
And
Anywhere,
that's
ever.
the majority of the stories. So, of course, getting back to the NBA players. Now, people think just because these guys dribble basketballs that they have no intellectual capacity. A lot of these guys graduated college. A lot of these guys went to school, since we're talking about education, and not only do they have education, they have intellect. They have grown up in the information age.
Can I say something? The 3 guys we talked about, you know what they all have in common?
What?
All 3 of their dads play professional basketball.
All 3 of them have daddies.
That play professional basketball.
But go back to
Right.
that part because
First-
that's a part we skip.
Right. First of all, they do
And
have.
that's a good point that you could point out 3 professional men who all got daddies.
Active parents.
Active
Yeah.
parents.
I just
Not only
want to throw that out there because the narrative is
extremely
almost
active
to where
parents.
that isn't like there.
Kyrie grew up without a mom,
Yeah.
but with his dad.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Ben Simmons grew up in Australia with his dad playing basketball. Andrew Wiggins not only had a dad that played professional basketball, his mom was an Olympic athlete, right? Olympic sprinter.
And Andrew came straight out of high school as well.
And
All
I know
3 of
that
them
was
hold up.
all 3 of them.
No, Andrew came straight out of high school.
No,
The
not Ben.
other 2 only played 1 year because Well, Ben played half a year.
Ben played 1 year.
He played half a year.
He got hurt.
No, he faked the hurt. He just played because he had to.
Right.
He made a big part because they had changed that rule, right? So, and Kyrie played 9 college games. I think it was 6 or 9 or something like that.
Yeah.
Like these guys, but they've been educated and taught from strong families that have taught them that they didn't need. Not only did they not teach them to be intelligent and think for themselves.
Individuals.
You don't need anybody because first of all, I got you.
And boy, we got a little money already. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
We got a little money already.
Yeah.
These
We
are
got a little more
facts.
time to think about this
Right.
than everybody
These
else.
are facts.
And that's why Klay Thompson makes such good decisions, in my opinion, too.
We almost didn't. But you saw what happened?
But you say almost.
No. So the year, remember when he tore his Achilles?
Yeah.
In the playoffs.
That was the passion to play.
But you saw who stopped him, right?
Who?
So he was gonna go back out and play. Like I'll play this out. And on his way back out, his knee, my bad, so his ACL. On his way back out, his dad said, "Hell no."
Him daddy. You
His
see
dad
what
who
I'm
played
saying?
with Magic and won championships with the Lakers. Michael Thompson stopped him in the
Him daddy.
in the tunnel.
You see
and
the
said
you,
no.
You
Go
see
back
the
that
you
way.
see the overall thread that I'm trying to like weave together here.
I get it.
Them boys got daddies.
Daddies.
And they out there speaking intellectually. You can't just get to them. You can't really poke their emotions like that.
Right.
I didn't think about that till just now.
And,
That's
and,
crazy.
it has a lot to do with it.
Tons to do with it.
The media, they know what to look for. And have you might, if you guys ever go to one of those like rookie symposiums,
Yeah.
where they have the rookies and stuff, it's clear and apparent that they look for kids without dads. And I don't think a lot of people that outside of sports realize that. I've sat in them in symposiums or whatever I just said.
Yeah.
And what they will do is they will like, it's just the language and the lingo. It's all meant for kids with no daddy.
So I give you a problem. To that point, to hit on the head, I was working a basketball camp in a state that I won't mention because I tell you because it gives away who the coach is. One of the most prominent college basketball coaches of all time, right? And he's having lunch with us, and they were asking him about recruiting, and he said, "I recruit PhD players." And somebody said, "Your players don't get PhDs; they don't stay longer than a year." He said, "PhD is poor, hungry, and desperate." He said, "I look for players that don't have dads because once they get there,
anybody who have been recruited understands
Right.
that.
He
once
said
they
once
run
they
into
get
your
there,
dad, they get the hesitation.
Right.
Recruiters
Right.
love single moms.
loves it because your mother."
One, I got some power. I might get some from you.
Well-
That's one. And two, I could kind of persuade you as
Not
the
kind
father
of persuade
figure.
you. Here's the deal. This is what happens when you have a single mom most of the times out of our neighborhoods, right? One, the first thing is you're going to do everything I say because you don't have a dad telling you not to listen to me.
He becomes the father figure with ill intentions.
Second thing is if you're not doing what I say and I call your mom,
She gonna get in
she's
your
going to
ass.
get in your ass because I am the out from where you are.
Right.
I am the key to not only your success, I'm the key to her new life.
I'm her retirement plan.
Exactly. So,
Bam.
So exactly.
This is the expert.
So when you have
Yeah.
guys that think for themselves, have been taught and strong, they don't want that, bro.
Right.
They don't want
it.
that. They don't want it. They don't want solid foundations. They want something that's easy to break, and they want it because daddy might get into your chest. You said this, and that.
Yeah.
And mom might try, but the veracity again is just different.
It's not the same.
And
Yeah.
that same
It's not the
coach,
same.
that same coach had some kids on his team that I knew since they were in middle school, and their dad is very prominent in life. Now he's worse than LeVar Ball if you ask me. I don't like him a whole lot, but
I like LeVar Ball.
I like LeVar. I want to say like this, Dad. But the thing was, after their freshman year, he made them move their dad's seats to the top of the stadium, so he couldn't be talking to them. Now, granted, as a coach, I don't want my parents talking to my kids during the game.
I
either.
could buy your mama a fur coat and she ain't gonna
But
say
at the
nothing
same
to
time,
me.
though, he was telling them, you know what I mean? Like, they don't want that, have that confrontation of dealing with dads like that. And as a coach who coaches kids, I'll tell you, the dads are the toughest ones. When you have a kid who has a dad, and I love it for them, sometimes it's hard coaching that
For a
kid
coach,
because
that's true.
even during the game, he goes listen to his dad more than he'll listen to you.
Right.
You know what I
true.
mean?
That's true.
Right,
And that's-
right.
That
and
is
the-
a very hard
and the-
variable.
Yeah, I never thought
and
about that, yeah.
The dad has individual goals when you have team goals.
Right.
And they don't always align.
And as a coach, I'm sure you can attest to this. You have dads who are trying to live vicariously
What?
through their kids.
Can I attest to it? I
I
got
know
stories.
you can attest to
I got
it.
stories. The worst dad that
I
I've
know
ever.
you can attest
The
to
worst
it.
dads you have are the dads that almost made it playing basketball.
And they kids can be sorry as ever, but they think that they the best just because.
Right.
They so badly want to see their kid on ESPN, but your kid sucks, bro. You know,
Yeah.
Miles, I feel sorry for you, man. Sometimes,
Yeah,
man.
this
Bro, I
this
almost
gonna be-
quit. This,
Mi-
I almost quit
Miles-
2 months ago behind that shit.
Now I know you're out there doing the Lord's work, man. You deal with a lot.
Look, I don't think we give Miles enough credit.
I clearly didn't.
I'm going to tell you why. Because Miles works with children, and he works with children like with passion, and he cares about what he does. Like Miles really, he's not a surface guy. Everything is like coming from his heart. So if he's dealing with your kids, it's
Right.
coming from his heart. Period.
Right.
And people like that is not. You can't trust everybody.
Right.
You can't. Coaches,
No, that's true.
teachers, intermediaries. You can't trust everybody. But Miles, I will say, the whole time I've met him, every time he talks about the children, it's from a place of passion and love. Even on the show, if
facts.
people pay attention, Miles like, no, I teach these kids all the time, all the time. And he gets so into it. Is because he loved the kids,
Right.
And that's a good sign. We
Yeah.
need more people like Miles.
Yeah, we got to shout that out for sure.
We
I appreciate it, bro.
gotta shout that out.
Gotta shout that out.
If your kids are playing for Miles, you're lucky. If they playing for me, you're shit out of luck.
And with that being said, for the sake of time,
Yeah, that's
let's get to
my man. Can we get him in here?
first of all, we want to review the stick. We're kind of halfway through.
Can we Ben here to review the stick with? I know Ben has smoked it. Let's get Ben to talk about it.
Well,
Well,
I'm gonna let him have my seat, and I'm gonna sit over there
No, that's
behind
fair.
the table.
I'm pretty sure that's what's gonna happen.
We're going to bring in the owner Cigar Exchange in to have a couple of.
Let me not spill nothing.
He's going back in the
Words
box.
that
I know.
Kick me out.
Hey, Ben, you got a broom
I cleaned
around
it up,
there?
Ben. I cleaned it.
I already asked your floor. You got a broom. I'll get it up, man.
I got 4 brooms, man.
One for each one of us. But I appreciate that.
So we're going to introduce the owner of Cigar Exchange. Cigar Exchange has been open for 3 weeks. 3 weeks
That's
now.
it.
Yeah.
So we christening this joint.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Yeah, we christened it.
I knew it was new, but I didn't know it was that new.
Katy,
Yeah.
Fort Bend, right next to the
I really gotta sweep this
always
stuff up now.
crowded In-N-Out Burger. You can't miss it. If
There's
you
a
come
line
down
out
Katy,
there right now,
there's a
by the
line
way.
out there right now.
And I'm
Yeah.
gonna get in it too when we leave.
I'm not a big fan of In-N-Out Burger. But
I can do
that's
In-N-Out.
true.
Facts.
I'm just not a fan. So Ben, what's going on, man?
I got like
Not
both
much,
of them.
man. First, let me say I appreciate you cats coming out, man, and highlighting Cigar Exchange. Appreciate that. It's always good for a new business, man, to get any kind of publicity.
Absolutely.
But good publicity is good, so appreciate that, man. Thanks a lot.
Man, thanks for having us, man. You'd have to open
Yeah,
your doors
appreciate you
up.
having us, man.
Anytime, man.
This is an amazing spot.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
beautiful.
awesome.
Yeah, one of the things that we wanted to do, my wife and I, was when we set up the place, we wanted to do something that wasn't contemporary. I mean, wasn't a standard cigar spot, like
Right.
old brown wood, and wanted to do something contemporary.
So can I say something?
Yeah.
So I didn't know you. I just met you today, right?
Okay.
I didn't know if you were married or not.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to say, yo, man, I know your wife helped you with this, but I didn't want to say that because I didn't know if you was married and there was gonna be some other women out there kind of mad. But I wanted to be like, yo. And my first question was gonna be like, what woman? And not a knock to you,
Yeah.
but there are details that women bring that we know we just don't always see.
Yeah, Jay,
Like we'd have never picked that joint
Yeah.
out. Like I would have walked right
Yeah.
past that
so
thing.
Jay knows the whole story. I mean, my wife did all interior decorating.
She
She
started,
all
I knew
the
it.
colors, the lights, the floors, the private room, everything. She did it all.
This goes back to our first topic. You ain't got to have a bunch of money or bring something to the table.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
But hold up, it doesn't necessarily mean it was hers. I mean, it might have been,
Yeah.
but she showed you how to spend it correctly.
She brought the talent, you know. Find you an interior decorator. That's a takeaway.
I can do that, baby.
There you
Yep.
go. So
She might want to get into the business of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all the credit goes to her, man, because my idea when I was working with the general contractor, it was different lights, it was different flooring. She came in and she changed all that. So yes, yep. It was a shell. You're right.
Are these floors bamboo?
No, it's a wood type.
Okay. I'm saying, I just. I don't know interior decoration. Yeah, come
Yeah, you
find
guys
out. I gotta
come find out, man. Cigar Exchange.
We'll start with what's the traditional question when we interview Cigar? How long have you been smoking cigars?
I've been smoking cigars like 20 plus years, man.
20 plus.
So
20 plus
the
years.
back end to that question is, what cigar and what was the story that got you started smoking?
So me and my best friend and my homeboy, we started smoking over in Uptown Park.
Okay.
And it was Cigar Vault then.
Right.
And we started smoking over there, and the first cigar we smoked, we were green, man, you know.
Right.
You know, we were cigarillo cats, man. We didn't know about no cigars, man.
Black and mild.
Dang, man. So the first cigar we smoked was the Camacho Corojo.
That was my first.
That was my, yeah, that was my first cigar, man.
The gray one.
You know, we were green, man. We must have smoked. We thought that was the best thing ever. We didn't know no other cigar existed. We
Right.
smoked that for like 3 weeks straight, you know. But yeah, so
Walked in with your chest out with your Camacho.
yeah, there you go,
I got
man.
you.
You know, we were refined, man.
I got
know.
you.
But yeah, that was my first cigar. That was my first entry into the cigar game.
And what did it give you to make you say, I got to do this again, man?
You know, at that time, man, being green, it was to us, even though it was a medium body, it tastes like a full body because
Right.
we weren't in cigar shape, right?
Right.
You know, so man, just to get that, you know, felt like we got a little something out of it, you know, but it was just, you know, the flavor of it, you know, kind of that nutty flavor, you know, coffee, earthy flavor.
Do you recommend new smokers, and I've had this talk with a couple of people, do you recommend people that are new to smoking cigars to start off with the medium bodies as opposed to the light cigars, you know, the mild sticks? Would you recommend medium fulls or mediums over that for new smokers?
Me personally, I would prefer more of a mild smoke for new cigar smokers, you know, something more of a Connecticut blend.
Okay.
You know, something that they can kind of start out mild because you can start out, you get some of these medium to full bodies, man, they'll turn you against it. You know,
Right.
especially
Right.
if you don't know how to smoke a cigar and
Right.
you
Yeah.
inhaling and you know, you smoking a double Hero or something.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're,
you
they're
don't
still
burn
trying to
yourself
learn.
up.
They're still trying to get the mechanics
There you
down.
go.
Yeah,
I think
I started Connecticut. That was
started
my first one. Was
Connecticut?
Connecticut.
I did too.
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
So being that I started with the Camacho Corojo,
I didn't know what I was smoking,
I
but
found that I developed a palate quicker because you can taste more in mediums than you can in miles, certain miles.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so it helped me develop a palate, and my taste is strong. Like I can almost pinpoint each flavor that I taste in each cigar that I smoke
Right.
now, and I attribute that to starting off with the
Yeah.
mediums.
Yeah.
Could be not the case, but I don't know.
Yeah, me personally, I would go with a mild Connecticut blend.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I started at the Rocky Patel Vintage 1999. That was the first stick I ever had. It was their Connecticut version. I didn't know what I was doing. I was in a club in Vegas, and another coach I was with was smoking it.
Yeah.
I said, "Yo, is that good?" He's like, "Yeah, try it." He got the waitress to bring me one. I was in the wind, and we smoked it, and I thought it was dope. It was cool. I flew back to Atlanta, and the next stick somebody gave me was an acid, and I was irritated. And I didn't know why I was irritated. I just knew
Like I'm not having a good time.
This is
this is not what I thought it was.
This is not the same.
This is not the same, and it's not a knock. There are a lot of acid smokers out there. God bless you, but it's not
Shout
a
out
knock.
to y'all asses smokers.
But it wasn't the same. He was like, right. And
Don't knock it, man. I move asses, man. Don't
no,
knock
I'm not knocking it, bro. You know, so it was a thing, and he kind of sold it to me. You know, it's infused with champagne, and I was like, all right, give me the shot. And I was kind of irritated. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't know any better, right? And I think that's part of. So, what do you feel is the cigar education that's needed for a lot of these smokers?
You know, I always use the analogy, man. It's whatever your palate is, right? You know, because you may like one thing and you may think it's the best, and it may not be for me. I just think
Facts.
you gotta kind of get some experience and try some different ones, try some different blends.
How do you suggest a new smoker tries? Like, how do they pick out what they try?
Know what your palate is, right? Know what if you can't stomach strong things, if you're light, for what your taste buds or your palate is, then I think you should start out with mild. But if you feel like you can manage, a more robust, or your taste palate is something different, then you can jump in like JB. You can jump in with a mild, mid range.
Right.
I also didn't know at the time.
Right.
That's not true.
Right.
That's not true, America. That's not true. That's not true. That is not true. That is not true.
He won't say it to your face.
The one,
But you gonna lean over
How
your shoulder.
dare you?
You see this shit?
the real thing is like what I didn't know in the beginning was I didn't know for some of these mid-level, mid-fulls, you gotta eat first. Like I got sick a couple of times.
Oh yeah.
So
Without a doubt.
Yeah, I got
Without a
sick
doubt.
a couple of times.
I got the one only time I ever got smoking a stick, and I'd only been smoking for like 6 months, and Rod 2 had a baby, and so I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna bring you. Let's celebrate. Like I'm gonna get you.
Yeah.
You've been smoking longer than I have."
Yeah.
And so I go to, matter of fact, right here in Katy, I go to it's a tobacco import right there off 99, and I say, "Yo, I gotta. My cousin had a baby. I gotta get some good sticks." And I picked out something really pretty, and the guy was like, "Nah, man, that's not worth the $30 a stick." He's like, "Get this," and I went and smoked, and I got Padron 1926s.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
And it's
Oh
my
yeah, that's a
favorite
good one.
too.
Yeah.
My dog, man.
But I didn't eat. I had nachos, and I ate that, and I smoked that, and I drank some Four Roses bourbon, bro. I had a
This is
hangover.
not gonna end well.
It did not end well at all, bro.
That's
day
not a
was
good night for your
motherfucker.
stomach.
As soon as you said nachos, I was like, oh yeah, this is.
You didn't do that 26 any justice either by doing that.
Let me ask some questions about Cigar Exchange. What are some selling points why people should come here?
So Cigar Exchange, some selling points that should come here is, first of all, is the cigar selection, right? You know, we got a real good selection that's growing. And so we're at the point now where we have a fully stocked humidor. But what we're
3
doing,
weeks in.
Yeah, 3 weeks in.
Yeah, great selection.
And so what we're doing now, you know, for our customers that come in that's committed to supporting Cigar Exchange, we're getting now what our customers want. You know, I'm not going to be that guy that's going to have, boxes of cigars all over the place, all on the counter. That's not me.
But you smoke what I give you.
But I'm going to buy what you want.
You exactly. Yeah.
If you're a committed customer, you tell me what you want, I'm going to have it.
And you know that through relationships.
You do that
Yeah.
relationships.
Right,
You know,
right.
so first, the first thing is we're going to give you what you want cigar wise. The second thing is, man, you know, one of the reasons why I always wanted to do a business, but I was going to do it later. But as we moved into this area, one thing I realized was it's not
Nothing.
a nice cigar place in Katy. I mean, nice to smoke a cigar, just to come and chill.
Right, right.
Watch football, watch whatever, come work at lunchtime, and the business guys come work at lunchtime. So that's why we moved the plan ahead of time and just went ahead and did it now. And so one of the things
Yeah.
we're providing, not just the cigars, which is the main point to get you here, but we provide you ambiance, a nice place. You know, I know cigar places in the area, man, you go there, you got to sit in the cloth seats. I'm not going to put you in cloth seats here. You know, we're going to give you, we got enough smoke eaters here. You're not going to be
COVID
smoky
seats.
when you walk out. You know, so we're giving you a nice environment, a nice place you can be proud of. You know, if you want to bring your wife, your girlfriend, whatever, you can do that here.
Yeah, the ventilation
And you're
is
not gonna be
amazing.
Actually, you can bring your wife and your girlfriend.
yeah.
He's not going to tell.
Yeah.
That's a good segue to my next question. What took you from aficionado to wanting to actually open a lounge? Like,
So-
where did that change come?
So I love cigars, right? And like I say, some of the places I've gone to, I was attracted to them because of the ambiance and a nice place. So I knew I wanted to do one, right? And the goal was going to be to do one later. I was going to do it later down the road, kid in college and ready to retire. That's my retirement. I go to my cigar lounge and I play golf the rest of the day.
Right.
That's what I'm talking about.
But like I say, once we got out here, I didn't have a place, and that was not a place. So I saw a business need, right? I mean, let's be real. I saw a business need as well. I saw an opportunity to set up a nice place, and, I don't know, 90% of the people that come in here, man, it's like, we're glad you're here.
Right.
We didn't have a nice place just to go. We had to drive way over on Westheimer or Uptown Park, Midtown, wherever.
Right.
And we're talking about people who live 5 minutes from here.
Right.
Having to drive 30, 40 minutes. Right. So we saw the business need, right, and we just jumped on it.
So let me ask you this, and this is a question I have to ask, and I almost hate I have to ask it sometimes, but what is it like not only being a new shop and a new entrepreneur in this industry, but being a black entrepreneur and having a black shop, not only in the industry, but in this area? How do you feel that affects what's going on?
I don't feel it has any impact. I look at it from perspective, man, and I got an opportunity to open my business to everybody. Even though I'm a black-owned business, welcome to black support without a doubt. But we have an opportunity because of, like I said, going back to nothing's here. I got an opportunity, man, to cater to everybody. For the love of the cigars. I'm not big on the whole BYOB thing. Jay will tell you that. But I'm big on cigars. I'm big on environment. I'm big on communication. I'm big on networking. West Side came out. West Side, filled this back area, private area up. And, later on in the day, we sitting back here, man, and we talking business. We strategizing. We networking. I got set up now for my daughter, 13 years old, to start her own business up because I want her to be business minded. So that's how I view this place. I view this as the exchange part of it is, people can come in and we can network. We can get things done, man. It's not all about, cigars is what's drawing us together. But we got an opportunity, man, to network, to meet people,
right?
To grow as a people.
That's the beauty of it. You say you play golf. Like, I've been playing golf since I was 7. My first job was at a golf course. I did that until I was like 25, 26 years old. You don't want my lessons anymore. I'm terrible. But that's what this reminds me of. Because, growing up in the 80s playing golf, and I grew up in Beaumont, Texas. So
I went to Beaumont University.
See, there you go. So being a black kid on a golf course in the 80s, what that was like. But what I learned was once you get out there, and once they see that you're about the golf, like they see you're about the cigar, all that kind of falls apart. And you just kind of start talking, and you crosses all the lines.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
You got to get in the game, right?
You got to get in the game.
You got to get in it. You got to try it. I look at, we go to different lounges for different reasons. Sometimes we feel like we want to go and hear some music, and some lounges are classy and got the ambiance. Some lounges don't, and you just bring your chair, you sit outside, you smoke. They got a great selection. So I like the variety of the types of lounges in Houston in particular.
Because depending on your vibe that day, you know where you want to go.
Yeah, like there's something for everybody.
That I would always want to go to. There's only one lounge in the city two lounges now with this one that I would want to work from.
Right.
We know the lounge that we all want to work from, and we would have to drive it to the city to go to that lounge.
I live in the city.
I'm going to come in with my laptop tomorrow and work.
It's just as prestigious as any lounge.
Yeah, it's
facts.
Yeah.
Fact. I agree with you.
Very, very,
and
very
I work
classy.
in lounges in the city. Like there's 2 lounges for me. I work in the city, and if I lived in Katy, I'd work here.
Yeah.
But I'm still gonna come out here though, like without a doubt.
Appreciate that.
The one thing that's important about the lounge experience for all of us, because we've been smoking for a while, is if we got a lounge that we like, we're going to drive to it.
Yeah.
And if there's one close to our house that we don't like, we're not going to go there.
We'll drive right past it.
I drive to a lot of places I don't want to go to. So I'll definitely drive to somewhere I do want to go to.
I live, 5 minutes, 10 minutes from a few lounges, and I'll pass them right up to go into the city to go
Facts.
to another
I do it all
lounge,
the time.
I'm extremely stubborn. I will go places where I feel welcomed with open arms. If it's out the way, if it's a hassle, it's not
excellent
a
point.
hassle once you get there. It's almost like Cheers. Everybody knows. And I'm going to be honest, when I came here for the first time earlier this evening, I was treated like with open arms. There was no silence or who's that guy?
Yeah.
It was like, hey, you're welcome. Come on in. Here's the humidor. Everything was it was very copacetic. It felt really good. And just looking at the area, looking at the places to work. One thing, too, where a lot of lounges miss out on, and I do a lot of the technical stuff, their Wi-Fi is excellent. I just want to throw that out there.
Right.
Oh,
their
yeah,
Wi-Fi is excellent, Miles. It works great.
Yeah, we got to talk about that.
Right. You haven't dropped once. There's a lot of food in the area. They picked a great place.
A lot of parking.
Yeah, a lot of parking, a lot of amenities, and you're right about the Wi-Fi being great here because we've been a lot of places and the Wi-Fi is garbage.
On airplane mode.
It's on airplane. It's. I think they have dial-up. I'm not really sure if they.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I got the modem in the back.
Wi-Fi. So let me ask you this. So I want you to tell us more about the lounge, the private area, where they can find it. Just as much as you can tell me about the lounge.
Memberships, yeah.
Sell this bitch, man.
Okay, so we're in Katy. We're at 806 Katy Fort Bend Road. We're in the Y Shops parking strip, right next to the In-N-Out Burger. Our lounge is set up into three separate areas. So our main public seating area, we'll seat about 20 people. All leather chairs, all, like I say, all ventilated. We got 2 televisions up front. You can watch, the games on weekends. We got college football going Saturdays. We got NFL on Sundays. We have an area in the back, which was a private membership area. And so we have what we call a niche area where we are now. We'll see.
That's also for members, right?
That's also for members.
So if you're not a member, you can't sit here.
You can't sit here. You can't
God,
sit in the
dog.
private room. So
There you go.
We'll sit
Private
10
lounge.
people in the niche area, and then you move to the private room. What you're seeing now, we have 8 fully reclinable leather chairs in there. We got his own dedicated air filtration system, so you're not smoking. We got a nice 60-inch television in there, and it's private. Like I say, I have guys, business owners in the areas now. They come in during the day. They have their meetings. They do the conference calls back here. They bought memberships. And so, one of the things we were big on is the air filtration systems, right? We're big on, not having smoke sitting around at eye level. All this, if you notice, whenever you pull on your cigar, smoke's going up.
Yeah, and I can definitely say, and my wife is a cigar smoker as well, and that's definitely a big deal for her, going to a place with great filtration and her hair is not smoked out and everything. So, kudos to you on that.
Yeah.
My wife's a cigar smoker too. I ain't met her yet, but she
She will be.
She will be.
She might be watching this right now.
Just a note for everybody. He hit on it a little bit earlier. This is not a BYOB location. It's similar to one of our lounges that we visit in the city. You can't bring in a bottle in here.
And let me ask you, to that, I know Richard finished your point. Why did you choose that versus other lounges who welcome the BYOB? What was your thought process behind it? It's not wrong. I'm just curious.
No, I'm not shy about it. That's not the ambiance I wanted, right? So when I envisioned the cigar, like I said, I'm a traditional cigar guy, right? And so the cigar is first for me, right?
For me too.
I want to enjoy the cigar, and then, a lot of times when you're doing the BYOB things, people get caught up in the bottle. And so when they get caught up in the bottle, it's not about the stick anymore. It's not about the cigar anymore. Then you start getting into a different environment. It starts getting a little rowdy. That's not the ambiance. That's not the place we had in mind when we set this one up.
I tell people all the time, some people smoke cigars with their drinks. Some people drink with their cigars.
Right.
I'm definitely a drink with my cigar guy sometimes.
Right.
I don't have to drink. I'll drink water and I'll be perfectly happy.
And that's
or
perfect.
Coke or whatever.
Right.
That's perfectly
Yeah, I
fine.
do it all the time. I'll just have a bottle. You've seen me.
Tea,
I'll just have a
coffee.
bottle of water, and people
All
be
the
like,
time.
"Oh man,
I
Yeah.
drink water and sparkling water with my it
Yeah, or
clears my
Sprite
palate
or
really
something.
well.
And that's perfectly fine, but that's something you can't control, right? If you open it up like that, man, it's hard to manage that, right? But one of the things we're doing, right? So we're doing the water, the Coke, the Sprites. But one of the things I realized too, as a guy, and for a lot of my customers, is coffee and espresso.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
yes.
I'm a tea guy, but same thing.
Yes, yes.
So we went out and made that investment. We'll be setting up the coffee machine, the espresso.
Awesome.
machine,
Hold
all
up, you gonna bring
right?
some tea in here, bro?
awesome."
I get some tea. Man.
I'm a tea guy. I don't drink coffee.
Hey, that's fine.
Unless it's Cuban. But, and that's no, the
You
Cuban
drink chai
coffee.
though, right?
Yeah, but that's
Yeah,
that's a tea.
I love
Yeah.
chai
That's
tea.
not
yeah.
a problem, man. So that's kind of the
I did too. Crazy enough.
the initial business model I had in mind when I set the place up.
Crazy enough that we both got it from him, bro.
The hot drinks, I actually pair more of my cigars with hot drinks than I do
Yeah.
with liquor.
So what is the membership fee? I know you mentioned it.
So we're doing the introductory now, with the membership fee is $700. That's a year. That's it.
That is it.
A year.
That is it.
You go get a.
I don't know if they'll let you lay on it, but I mean,
You go get a
Keep your
locker.
clothes on.
You go get a locker in the humidor. You go get access to what we call the niche area where we are now. You get access to the private room. You get 10% discount on box purchases, 5% discount on everyday purchases. We're going to be doing cigar events, cigar roller events. We're going to be doing smoke events with the different suppliers. And you
Pairings.
get pairings. You go get access to all that, early access. Now, I can tell you now, the memberships are moving. That $700 is not going to be much longer.
I feel you. You need to do something. No, man, I will talk about it off camera. I was just gonna ask a favor, but we'll talk about it off camera. No, it wasn't a personal favor. So I'll tell you what it is. So like you said, I work with kids. I work for a nonprofit full time, and we have a fundraiser every year. We have a big, huge event around Mardi Gras time. It's Fat Tuesday this year at the Astoria downtown. Huge event. We have a lot of top people in the city come out. A lot of big people come out, and we do a silent auction, and we do a live auction as well. But we do a silent auction at the event, and we get people to put packages together. We like to put packages together. Sometimes we'll put cigars with vacations or things like that, cigars and bottles and stuff. So it'd be dope if you wouldn't mind, throwing something in there, man, and get people out here to your spot.
Come talk to me.
We'll make it work, man.
My wife and I, we support a lot of events like that. We support a lot of silent auctions. I got a lot of pictures and autographed pictures and things hanging around the house.
We got some people coming this year, man. It'd be great for you to come out.
So, yeah, definitely. Let's talk about it.
I love it. That was my selfish plug. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Man, I said I'll talk about it off camera, but you put me on the spot. I had to prove it wasn't for me. You had to prove it wasn't for me. You were like, we'll talk about it hours later. But everybody been like, yo, did you ask for your personal thing? It's not for me. But anyway, no, I appreciate it. That'd be dope.
We are definitely spoiled in the Houston area with the lounges.
We are.
That we have. This city is very spread out. There's enough money for everybody. And there's locations that there's still gaps.
Can I say, and I'm big on black owned. I don't want to.
Favoritism to Cigar exchange.
No, of course.
Yeah.
It's okay.
But I'll say this, and I'm favorable. It's not a thing, but it's a thing for me about black owned, right? And especially in this industry, 'cause this industry didn't always welcome us in it. It's ironic. I ran across Vic today. Me and Vic was smoking together, and I was saying how when we used to smoke at B&B, at least as far as I know, that was pretty much one of the only black lounges in the city, right? And it was definitely the biggest black lounge in the city. And that was like 7-8 years ago. Now we can get to 8-9 black-owned lounges, man, 10 black-owned lounges. And for you to be in that fraternity as well is beautiful because they're all over now. Now we have Katy. We have, the north side, Humble side, Missouri City. We have in the city, downtown, Sugarland. And for that, we might be at 10 or 11 if you think about it hard enough.
Yeah.
I think it's a beautiful thing. River Oaks we have. I think it's a beautiful thing that we had these black-owned lounges spreading out throughout the city to even that number up.
Let me say something. Even though black-owned, everybody's welcome. I said, I really got that feeling when I came here that it's a very welcoming place. If you like cigars, if you want to learn cigars, the first thing I felt here was like, it feels really good. And I'm a real feeling person, the way it feels. They say wear your emotions on your sleeve. They all over me.
Yeah.
And so when you come in, it feels good. And I just wanted to add that point.
Appreciate
because
that.
I think sometimes we don't have to pigeonhole it to no particular person or group.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a cigar lounge, and we love cigars, and he got a whole lot of them.
Yeah, and like you were saying, if it's welcoming too for someone who's just getting into cigars, that's new to cigars. Some people can feel intimidated, and you're welcoming, and find out what their palate is, what they like. You can kind of guide them, not just to picking out a good place to start, but a good place to what are they trying to do? What direction do they want to go in? And because it's a journey where we all started out. We're in different places now. So like you said, you can recommend things, but at the same time, it's what their palate is and what they're looking to get out of it.
Right. And definitely for somebody who's a working professional who works remote, and remote is a big thing right now. A lot of companies are going full remote. This is a great place to work from. It's quiet.
I was looking right there. Isn't that a work area you have there?
That's workstation.
Yeah.
Workstations.
Yeah, it's very, it's a very, very work-friendly environment.
There's no wasted space in here.
It's welcoming for whatever accommodations that's needed, as long as it's not outlandish.
What are your hours?
So we're 11 to 9 Monday through Saturdays, and on Sundays we're 11 to 5.
And are you here all of those hours, or do you have other people here working with you?
I'm here all day. So my wife and I both run it. The thing is, we want to build a brand, right?
Right.
A lot of times you hire people, they don't have the same values you have.
Facts.
They don't value your business.
That's true.
So what we're doing is, for the first, 4 to 6 months, we're going to be here. we're gonna build a brand. We're gonna welcome people in. You know, we're gonna push the business and build it like we want it. Then we'll hire people to start to running
Our
it.
mouths and I will stay open. Our morals may be slightly different.
Slightly questionable.
Hey man, don't put me in that, man. I keep my morals behind closed doors.
We'll close the door.
Yeah, we'll close the door. We'll close the door behind us. But thank you for having us, man. We definitely this is a good way for us to come back and be in a lounge. We hadn't been in a lounge in months. We've been recording virtual.
It's a
We've been
great
traveling
place
a
to
lot.
be. To start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like I say, I appreciate you brothers coming in, man. Like I say, I open the doors, but I appreciate the support. You know, the support's been overwhelming. Our first 3 weeks, man, I couldn't ask for anything more. You know, we're
Right.
still growing. The word's still getting out. You know, we started doing some mass marketing in November. Right now, we're just word of mouth, and it's been great. It's been great.
Did you? Look at that, bro. That's dope. That's what's up.
So you take that personally.
No, that's dope.
You
I'm
got it
definitely
here at a
coming
good
back.
time because there's no businesses next to you, right? There's nothing on each side of you.
Yeah.
So they're gonna start popping up. This shopping center and Katy, you know, things are popping up all over the place. So
Yeah, so
eventually,
so there'll be a
all
lot of,
this will be full.
There's
There'll be a lot of
the biggest
residual
growing
foot
cities in the
traffic.
country right now, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know, so right here, Fort Bend is Exeter. If you go a mile down, they're getting ready to build the boardwalk, Katy Boardwalk.
Oh
Which
wow.
would be like what they have in the Woodlands, what they have in Sugar Land. Yeah, I mean, they've already started putting up condos in the land. So we're in a unique situation, right, where we're going to see all that traffic coming through, but I don't have to pay the rates for being on that side of the freeway.
Right.
So there's a lot of growth. There's a lot of opportunity here. There you go.
That's gonna be the issue. That's gonna be the issue.
There you go.
But we thank you again for having us in the lounge. We know you stayed open late for us to be here.
No worries.
And we gonna
Can we thank
definitely-
your wife too? We'll send this to her. Thank your wife for letting them stay out late with us, man, and putting
Appreciate
all
it.
this together.
He is almost in the same hand.
Yeah.
He's really here. We're here.
we
All right,
we're
guys.
definitely here, and I'll be here tomorrow, right there working. So if you guys want to come check out the place, the hours tomorrow are from 11 to
11 to
9.
11 to 9. Yep.
11 to 9.
Yep.
During the week, and Saturday same hours on
Saturday,
Saturday.
11 to 9.
11 to 9 on Saturday. and
Sunday,
then
11 to
5.
5.
It's 11 to 5.
Yeah, Cigar Exchange. And what's the address again?
What's that?
What's the address again?
806 Katy Fort Bend Road.
806 Katy Fort Bend Road. You heard it here first. His first interview with the local brand. So we're happy to have him on the show, and we're gonna show him massive support. We got one more topic to get into right before we get out of here.
Yeah, make it quick. Get in and
All
get
right,
out.
quick.
Appreciate it, gentlemen.
So Ben can get home. He gotta go to sleep. He gotta be back here in the morning.
Yes, sir.
Unlike y'all, we don't have to go to work. Me included. Not early in the morning.
Yeah, I want to thank Ben for his hospitality.
Yeah.
Cool
doubt.
guy.
Great
very, very welcoming. Not welcoming to the shenanigans, but
put up with
welcoming
that
to
bullshit.
cigar smokers who want to, have a good play. You get the real cigar experience. I see a lot
Yeah.
of them post and memes like, "When is the cigar lounge?" Well, this.
Yeah.
Oh.
And, it's tailored to whatever you want to do. Like every cigar lounge has a different vibe.
Facts.
So if you,
We're talking about this place extra long. That means it's good.
yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
it's
Dope.
good. I
Yeah.
was impressed.
I like
First
these
time I
spotlights,
came.
bro. I feel like I'm in Hollywood.
I thought
You know
those were.
what?
I
I
thought
was
those.
really going to ask where he got them from.
I
You
thought
gonna
those
see some
were.
of them
I
in the
thought those were
studio.
yours.
You know what? No, they're not. I was looking at those like, I need those.
I was like, wow, he's really showing out tonight.
Y'all ever watch The Masked Singer?
I haven't
I
watched that
have. I think TV's running out of ideas
Right.
because of that show, but yeah, I've seen it.
So in The Masked Singer, last year or the year before, Bow Wow was on it. He went really far in The Masked Singer, but that was his costume right there. So when I saw it, that's what I thought about. Was that I saw that picture up there? That's definitely the Bow Wow thing. But anyway, regardless, it's gonna be dope. But back to our last.
Yeah, let's jump on it
final-
so we can jump up out of
yeah,
here.
so I haven't seen the latest Dave Chapelle comedy special yet.
I have.
It's on Netflix.
but you
now.
saw the clip
I saw the clip.
of that's causing all the consternation.
Yeah, I
But
saw that.
to do that is very
Constipation?
unfair.
That too.
To do that is
Especially
very
that.
unfair because he talked about the community that's coming at him, the transgender community, for a lot longer than that clip. And I think it's very unfair to get an opinion on what he said based on that clip. Because
that's fair.
Because he literally said, first of all, he said, this is my last time ever talking about it. He said that out of his words.
He said that last time too, though.
But he got some heat, and he talked about a lot of stuff. But what he said was, he literally said this on the show. I'm not talking about you. I'm jealous of you. Because he said, y'all have gotten rights that I can't get.
As less than 1% of the country, they get all the noise.
He's saying, I'm talking about white people, how they will give you whatever you want and won't give us anything.
It's financially beneficial, though.
Facts. And he's not saying indifferent.
Right.
But it really, I'm not going to say baffled me, but I was really like, why this? Because there are some other ones where he went in really hard on them without the explanation.
And that's fine.
It's fine. It's comedy. He's supposed to be able to do that.
I look at all this as like you just said, it's comedy. So comedy is supposed to be a somewhat mirror image of society and what's going on.
Yeah.
And I think that today people just take stuff way too serious.
I think you and I have talked about this quite a lot, Tyrone. The professionally aggrieved.
Yeah.
The professional victim.
Yeah.
You know. Now I'm of the school, and I've said this a lot. You know, if you want to know who's in charge, figure out who you're not allowed to make fun of.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
That's a good take on it.
And that's an issue.
Yeah. The thing that stands out to me about Dave Chappelle, but I am in agreement with Miles because I didn't see the whole thing. And when you say that does make absolute sense not to make a full evaluation.
It's out of context.
Partial information. Right. And so I will say this. As far as the power of that community, it's overwhelming based on the percentages of people who are literally in that community. Yeah. And so there's one thing that I can say without seeing all of it that I do believe is true. You can talk killing people. You could rap. You could talk about I'm gonna kill him. You could kill 100 people a song.
Selling drugs, committing crimes.
But look, real quick, Miles. But at the same time, I'm not going to denigrate the LGBTQ community for what they're able to do. No, for the power that they're able to wield.
To his point,
if we ever got serious enough, we can do the same thing.
Talk that shit.
The only problem is they don't accept it. What they find is wrong, we do accept it.
We don't accept it, we defend it.
We defend it, we buy it, we stand behind it and push it up the hill and then get on his back down the hill. Facts. And so it's like we support the same things that we dislike. They don't support it. Right. And it's not just the LGBTQ community. You look at why Asians got what they want. They speak with their money. The Asians, as far as voting, the Asians as a demographic never really vote Democrat. But they get what they want from Democrats and Republicans because they have the money and they are going to fight with their money. Facts. They will not do something. They will only go to their own people. They will say, we will sacrifice. And us as black people, I do feel like we don't do that. If we want rap to change, stop buying it. It will change in a second. In a millisecond, because they're only doing what's profitable. As a content creator, I told a buddy this yesterday. It's hard because you have to straddle the line between good and evil, and you have to pick which side you want to be on. Because as a content creator, I can do stuff that all day I know people will watch. All day. But it'll be hard for me to sleep at night. Right. Because I know what it is putting out in the world.
But the world has said it doesn't matter as long as you get a bag, right?
As long as you get a bag.
But back to your point about the rap. He started out because he started with the gay community and then went into the transgender community, and that was about 40 minutes of his show. Like he wasn't.
Now, isn't that both the same community?
Yeah, but a transgender is a niche inside of the gay community, right? So, but what he said, what he said was talking. He started out talking about DaBaby getting canceled because of what he said about the gay community and AIDS and all that stuff, right? But what he said was, that's fine. He said, how many of y'all knew DaBaby shot and killed somebody in a Walmart?
But it was self-defense.
Facts. But hold on.
Dave was kind of out of place for that, too.
But Fair.
It was apples and
But
gorillas.
what he said was he never took any grief for it.
But that was true, too.
Nobody ever said a thing to him about it. Not why.
It didn't affect his career at all.
What he said didn't affect his rap career at all.
Who made the song "Throat Baby"?
I don't know.
I don't know that one.
But what I'm saying is, it's stuff like that's
right.
perfectly okay.
You know what you always
It's
said?
the thing that's accepted. But what in contrast to what's not accepted.
You know what you
that's
always
the
said
problem.
that rings in my head at least once a week? He said if we change the word nigga in every rap song to white people, this shit would end in a week.
In a week.
They shut hip-hop down so freaking fast.
In a week.
As long as we're doing it to each other, it's fine.
Yeah.
But you can't, there's certain communities you can't talk about. And I think the fact is, he hasn't talked, and he even the, what is the National Justice, blah, whatever it is.
National Black Justice.
You could grab your phone and tell us what they actually stand for, because the name does not represent.
It was very misleading.
Very misleading.
What they
Were like, where did you read this?
I was like, Delvin, where you get? And I know Delvin's the expert.
Right. So
for me to ask Delvin where you got that from, that's
never
like,
heard about
what? Delvin is the expert. I just blindly believe Delvin, and it's the only person on earth that this happens with.
I read their statement, and they said that he celebrated a woman killing herself, and that's not true. What he said in the show was, I'm not giving the show away, was he made some transgender jokes 20 years ago when he was very uninformed about the community. And there was a transgender lady laughing her butt off behind the jokes, whatever. They ended up having a conversation, and she said she wanted to be a comedian. So he let her open for him, and she bombed. She didn't do well at all. But they stayed really close. So later on, transgender community was using some stuff that was said in the article about him years before and regurgitating that on Twitter. And she defended David Chapelle against the transgender community by what was being said. And she took so much grief and backlash, she killed herself. And he was saying, she defended me. Right. And we were friends.
Right.
And he said, I didn't kill her. Y'all did.
Right. And he's 100% correct.
And that's what he said.
That's
and
why they're going to attack him.
And attacked him.
That's why they're going to attack him.
Fact.
Because responsibility and self-admittance is something that certain people just don't want to do. And but I am glad though, Miles, because I almost got ahead of myself talking about something that I haven't fully seen. And I'm glad that you gave the synopsis and also be like, wait a minute, but we can't speak on something we haven't fully seen. But I am glad that you saw it for the three of us, the other three of us, to give us some synopsis on it.
Now the group that's coming after him is who we have never heard of until about 3 hours ago.
Black Lives Matter.
I didn't say that. You're close. The National Black Justice Coalition, which is an American civil rights organization primarily serving gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender people.
That's BLM.
Apparently,
I'm sure they got ties together.
Now, that's
subsidiary.
Now, those groups are nowhere in the title of National Black Justice Coalition. I don't know if it's only black, lesbian, gay, bisexual, and trans. I have no idea.
Well, the joke was let me ask Miles. Was the joke directed towards black LGBTQ?
Only thing he mentioned about black LBGTQ was, and he mentioned it to both sides. He said when it comes down to it, and we have to really get into white LBGTQ can jump back on the side of being white.
Yeah, look at what's his name? Andrew Buck, Ed Buck. And this was a guy, he was a big Democratic fundraiser for the Democratic Party. 2 black males end up dead in his house after drugs and festivity. And that got swept under the rug.
Right, and that's what he was saying. He made one joke. And
Ed Buck.
It was
that's
about,
his name. Sorry about that.
But it wasn't about black trans. It was about these 2 black guys in a bar and him going against something. And he pointed to them like, it's ironic that, because there was some racial undertones in the joke, and I remember all of it. But basically he was saying, y'all need to recognize that when it comes down to it, in America, you're black first.
Yeah.
It's basically what he said.
Right.
Before you're trans, before you're gay, lesbian, whatever it is that you are, who you are, is.
Let the police pull you over. You'll find out.
And that's what he said. He said he pulled us over.
Right.
Let the police pull you, find out.
The cops
Yeah.
Gay
pull
and
up,
black, you black.
and he said that. He said the cops pull up right now, and it's me and two black guys. We all Clifford. Don't even matter.
It don't
We
matter.
all matter, right? So
Period.
that's the one thing he did say about the black gay community was you black.
Yeah.
But before we jump out of here, I want to say something about, because they're trying to, I read articles, should we cancel Dave Chappelle?
We shouldn't cancel
and even
anybody.
to DaBaby, cancel DaBaby. My thing is this, who is actually canceling them? So that's a very general statement.
The
Well,
media cancels and
let
we
me
follow.
let me ask you guys this: out of the four of us, who's canceling Dave Chappelle?
The media,
No, but just real quick, are you canceling Dave Chappelle?
not at all.
Are you canceling Dave
No.
Chappelle? I'm not. Are
I'm-
you?
I'm not.
The majority of people that we will run into as individuals on a day-to-day basis agree with
Let me
Dave
tell you
Chappelle.
something.
Basically,
the media
normal
will
people.
tell you somebody's canceled, but the question should always be, by who?
Oh, I can tell you
Here's my
exactly who.
thing.
Who's canceling Dave
there's
Chappelle?
there's some butthurt
Liberal white lady somewhere?
Yeah, with no sense of humor at Twitter or Google. That's like, I am offended, because I'm professionally offended, and that's all it takes.
Delvin, I came up with this today. America argues over the issues of liberal white women.
Yes.
I mean, think about that.
No, I
and
can,
get back with me with.
no, I can get to you
Bro,
right now.
That's the crux of all of our arguments.
I posted a video of a white comedian who talks about that. You can find it on my page.
Yeah.
But I will say this.
Nothing is an
we're-
issue in America until liberal white women say it's
They
an
run
issue.
and
everything.
it's the fair.
Yeah.
So I'll say this. If we didn't cancel, as a black man, I never canceled Archie Bunker and Andrew Dice Clay. Ain't no way in hell I'm canceling
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle.
Well, I don't know anybody really canceling Dave Chappelle except the media.
Yeah,
And that's why
that's
I say
true.
be careful about what they project upon you, because, again,
It's a fringe movement.
I guarantee you, because if we break it down by numbers, 99.99% of all media is owned by Caucasians, by white people.
Yeah.
Right.
So anybody coming out with the narrative from the media that we're canceling Dave Chappelle is not a black person.
and you know this, like Time Warner, HBO, all of these, Google, all of these six. There's like six companies, and they basically own all of the
media.
radio,
Right.
media.
Right.
TV,
And they
Viacom.
argue
Yeah.
against themselves. They pit their own channels against their own channels.
You know why?
Viacom
You
does
know
it
why?
all the time.
You know why? And
Viacom owns MTV.
I saw Richard
Yeah.
Pryor say this.
Viacom owns MTV, BET,
BET.
VH1. Viacom owns all black visual music.
Period.
All of it.
I saw
And Universal owns most of what you listen to.
I saw an interview with Richard Pryor from like the 70s, and he said they want us to fight because racism is profitable.
Absolutely.
And that's why
Exactly.
they're fighting. As long as people are fighting, it's profit.
I've been saying this
People
for a
jump
while.
on one side,
I've
they-
been saying this
they'll
for a
spend
while,
money.
and people get mad at me when I say it. But I think capitalism. I think capitalism is bigger than racism at this point in time. I'm not going to say always, but I am
In most
saying
cases.
now, because I could tell you one thing: a rich black person will never trade to be a poor black person, and neither will a rich white person or a white person in general.
Fact.
You see what I'm saying?
But
It's about what the amount of money you
The
have.
most-
So
the
it's-
most
it comes
important-
down to classism at the end of the
It's
day.
more of a
I
class
couldn't
issue.
find the word.
Classism.
Thank you, Jay, for
Because
making me not feel
I
stupid.
agree with you. The way only way capitalism works to its full effect is if you have a slave class, not a lower
to have
class.
it.
You got to have a slave class, and so right now it's easiest to make our community the slave class, and they're going to keep you there.
Well, and they get
Well-
our votes constantly. It's identity politics.
I was just, this is why you're the glorious host, because you steal my thunder
But
before
you
I
are
can
the
get to
expert, so most of the stuff I get really came from you.
so look,
it. We give it to them. That's why politically nobody takes us seriously
at all.
because they're like, well, why should we cancel people on your behalf? Or
You see what just happened to HBCUs?
yeah,
I want to know, and I asked this question, and somebody just get to me. Everybody out there that was ski-weeing and hoorahing and dancing,
Chucks and Pearlin' it.
and Chucks and Pearl, they taking money directly from your cause, from your alma
It
mater.
went from $48 billion to zero. It says $2 billion, but if you look,
That's
inside the
effectively
fine print,
zero.
It's
what I-
effectively zero because
Yeah,
it goes
it's-
to other
it's def-
communities
No.
and other schools.
Not only that, it's not direct funding. That
It's
$2
not
billion,
direct funding.
It is competitive grant funding, which means that $2 billion still has to be fought on to get the grant.
And what's
Right.
funny is, as much as people argue with you, you actually read the whole situation.
Oh,
And sometimes I'll be like, yeah, he's right.
this is even funnier. I pointed this out to Miles on the way out. Like, you know what? He posted about that yesterday, day before yesterday. I went back and checked the post.
Not
Fucking
shit.
crickets. Nothing.
You know how that go.
You
Crickets.
Negro had nothing to say about that.
That's what happens. People dove in too deep
Yeah.
to now they can't come out that water.
Because they have to admit I fucked up.
Or just to say, you know what, I was deceived.
I was deceived.
Which I don't
Which
think,
is okay.
Which I don't think none of us should be afraid of, because that's growth. And I
Yeah.
think us as individuals, as a collective, and as black people, the more we grow and just admit things, the more we know next time the cycle comes around.
Yeah.
Just what to look for. I'm not never telling nobody who to sway for and
Yeah.
against, but just realize the truth when you hear it.
And what Miles pointed out too when we were talking, you know, a lot of people are not going to say, you know what, I was deceived or I didn't look into the.
Because they don't want us to say, ha ha, I told
Because
you.
he said it's emotional for them. Their pride's involved.
Right.
So they're
That's exactly
They're
what it
defending
is.
their
themselves as a
emotions.
person.
Their emotions are fighting against reality.
The logic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And so the anger isn't with you. The anger is their cognitive dissonance.
I was just going to say,
Going
what was
at-
that what you taught me? Cognitive dissonance.
Yeah.
Something else I got
They are
from the
fighting
expert.
with that in their head, and they're just projecting it onto you.
Right.
So on that note, yo, man, we need to shut this down.
Yeah, I encourage everybody. I'm going to look. I haven't seen it yet. But
I'm going to watch it this weekend.
Look at Dave Chappelle's new Netflix special. I think it's his last one on Netflix.
Well, it was the last of the 5 he signed up for.
It's the last of the 5.
Right.
Or the
So he's going
contract.
to get another $70 million.
Wow.
He said he's not gonna do one for a while, but we'll see how that lasts.
And but you know what? Some people, I think, the undertone of a lot of what we spoke about tonight is financial and what people have to gain financially.
Yeah, it's all
What we have to
economics.
look at about people like Kyrie Irving, Dave Chappelle, and people of that echelon, sometimes, and if we look back in the past, we had leaders who would say, okay, I have enough money. It's about principle now.
Right.
Dave Chappelle he left Comedy Central.
He said that on the, he said
Over
we talking about-
principle.
he said when you got to stand behind principle and walk away from it, I did it.
Yeah.
He said you said you listen to somebody who walked away from $50
Now, mind you,
million.
I didn't see the special.
Right.
Me and Jay was just trying to figure out when it came out.
Right.
Right.
And so I think sometimes when we get caught up in the conversation, we be like, ooh, that's a lot of money they losing. Ooh, that's a lot of their money they losing. But Dave Chappelle is somebody who, if I'm not mistaken, have hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Well, now he does. He did then.
Legacy money.
But at that
Legacy money.
at that point he didn't have that.
Yeah.
He walked away from it because
Yeah, he's got
sometimes-
fuck you money. That's why.
Yeah,
Right.
now he does, right? But
and as much as the media says it, you can't cancel him.
can't cancel him.
Can't do it.
He's too big to fail.
You can't
Too
do it.
too big of an entity.
And you know what? This is why and before we go and anybody say what you think, of course. But I think he's too big to fail because too many people agree with him. It's a small minority who
Agreed.
don't, but the squeaky wheel gets the oil.
Agreed.
We agree with him, so we're not standing on pedestals like, I agree with Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
We rarely do with what we agree with. But things we don't agree with, we yell at the loudest of our voice.
Yeah.
And
Right.
that's what's going on right now with the LGBTQ community. And I'm going to look back years from now like this shit's going to bite me in the ass. But I think that they don't necessarily want equality. They want power. And I can't say anything about a group who wants that. I would just urge us as black people, let's go after
want
the
the same
power.
thing.
Do
Yeah.
the same thing. And the LGBTQ community, they won't vote in a heartbeat if they're not getting what they want.
Facts. You know, I we don't leave on this. We talk about the voting and how your participation is leveraged. Somebody, I forgot who I listened to.
You've been saying that,
Right.
and you've been saying that too.
Somebody listened to said
But I got it from the expert.
Oh shit, I got it from you.
somebody said the Montgomery bus boycott did not work because they sat on the bus and yelled from the back of the bus.
Right.
Until they took their money away and said, you got to come back and get it, is when the Montgomery bus boycott worked.
And I think they were only expecting about 60% participation, and they got 90.
Yeah.
Until as a collective, we're okay with sacrificing for the greater good.
Sacrifice is the thing. We don't
Because
sacrifice.
we don't, and
we don't have
people are so
community to
afraid
sacrifice
to
for.
admit that. We don't. Why would we sacrifice when we sit in leather chairs? We got AC, this, that, and the
Nobody
third.
wants to give up. Nobody's giving up the Escalade. Nobody's giving up the house in the suburbs. Nobody's giving up the private school tuition.
And
Nobody's
it's
taking a
easier for
chance.
people to have all of that to give it up. So anybody or to take a stance. So for people who don't take a stance because they're still trying to make it, I fully understand.
Yeah.
Fully.
I fully understand. And I think
right.
that's part of the problem that we have is we're pitting our opinions against each other as if we can't live in harmony with different opinions. But we can definitely live in harmony with different opinions. We know people vaccinated, unvaccinated, and we love each other. We're great friends.
Right.
But the way that they project it, we're supposed to dislike each other. And we're not the problem.
No.
We should all be confused about shit that's confusing. But they're making it to where like, damn, this shit's confusing, so fuck it, I hate you.
Right.
It makes no sense.
It's the fallback.
So look,
All right.
on that note, man, support each other. Come support this lounge.
We're going to support each other in this lounge.
What
Look,
y'all
hey,
think? What y'all
look.
think of the stick, man?
I love the stick.
Yeah.
It's rare that I smoke a stick faster than other people on the panel. I'm normally the last one.
I might
I huff
request
this
a
down.
box of these for Christmas. This is a box for
I
me.
think
Hey, Tina.
you know what?
I need this,
I'll buy
Tina.
you a box for Christmas if you buy me a box.
Deal.
Deal.
Undercrown 10th anniversary, man. Try it, smoke it. We've been smoking it for months now. 5 months in? Came
Yeah.
out
I've been smashing
5
these
months
bitches.
ago. I know I saw
Every time I find them, I buy 2 or 3 at a time. I'm smashing them.
Yeah.
I saw it at a lounge in Sugarland, and I picked up a couple. But no, it's a great cigar. Try it. Tune into what we got coming up next week.
Can I talk a little bit of shit real quick before
ahead,
we
talk
go?
that shit,
Hey,
talk that shit.
I want to give a shout out to. I know we were one of the originating cigar podcasts in the Houston area. We're still running. We still running strong. We're not going anywhere. It's all love between us up here. So we're not going nowhere. We love what we do. We have these conversations even without you guys. And so it's lovely to have you guys here. But I do want to give a shout out to these brothers because in the world of he say, she say, and varying opinions, it's hard for groups to stay together. And we have stayed
Very
together
hard.
through up, downs, and sometimes some of the downs was me. But we are
I think we've
here.
all had our disagreements, right?
We are here. We are thriving, and we have a lot more to come.
33 episodes.
You ain't counting them?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I had no
33?
idea. I was
33 episodes.
I had no idea.
I had
You got Kareem numbers now?
I just-
33 episodes.
Kareem,
in.
I do-
We
bar numbers.
Scottie Pippen on them?
1 year.
Kareem, bro.
shooting,
Kareem.
1 year.
Kareem,
Yeah.
The GOAT.
the greatest.
The GOAT.
Hey,
Anyway, yo.
take us out, Miles.
Yo, man, it's been a dope show. Make sure you check us out next week. We'll be right back. Make sure you check us out on social media. Sticks-N-ShyTalk podcast on Instagram and YouTube, and Four Brothers Podcast on Facebook and individually. Delvin the Expert on Instagram, JSteve201, Irvin.Tyrone. I said Irvin.Tyrone. Oh. You know what that
Tyrone
means? But you know
Irvin,
what?
not Irvin.
That means you getting big. You one step closer to a blue check now. People call you by your name. Well,
Yeah.
people think
He's like, you can keep your blue check.
people think Anthony's my last name. So it is what it is. So and I am Miles Anthony on Instagram.
You're my first favorite Miles, and I have another Miles that.
Who's that? Miles Monroe or somebody?
No, Miles is the last name, but you are my favorite Miles.
I appreciate that, man. That means a whole lot. I'm gonna put that on my wall at home. Peace. See y'all next week.
We'll see y'all next week.
Like, this is not on your wall at all, man. It's just